23 CIF high school football season, where two perennial powers in this city, Ramona and JW North, meet in a thrilling season opener. Two of the best, and you certainly know it by the guys that are here. A sellout tonight. Ramona, JW North, Nick Rice, Jeff Gorham, an incredible matchup and an incredible football game to get the year started.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Nick Rice, football is back in Riverside, and you couldn't have scripted it any better. John W. North versus Ramona, a rivalry that's gone back years. Two teams that have been great. John W. North looking to go on the uptake. Ramona right now struggling a little bit. They've lost 27 players to graduation, 18 starters, but Coach Mashinsky always has his guys ready. 100 guys in the program, and they are looking to rebuild rather than stay pat.
Yeah, I asked Coach Mashinsky going into the game, has he ever lost this amount of seniors to graduation? And he said not even close. This is obviously the story every year is how you're going to transition. It's especially difficult for Ramona considering all their guys they lost. None bigger of a loss than Bo Bruins.
Yeah, you talk about the losses, but it's the next man up. And I'll tell you what, it's tougher than heck when you face a formidable opponent. OP Vaiapulu's team looking for a little redemption. They didn't play as well as they thought they should have last year, but I'll tell you, they play a tough schedule. They got Beaumont coming up. They play a lot of Riverside teams, but they have a great quarterback, Cam Shannon, who Coach Opie Vaiapulu has great praise for his quarterback and the signal caller. Great receivers, skilled positions. We know North has them. It's just going to be the matter is that giant offensive line if they're able to push down the field and make those big spaces.
This is a rematch of a game won by Ramona last year, and head coach Opalani Vaiapulu on the other side for JW North talked about the difficulty to adjust to the environment. We'll see how these two schools fare to the added energy, not just first game of the year, but a city matchup that adds some extra energy tonight.
Well, it's about 130 out. It's 7:30 at night. Man. It has been ridiculously hot. That could cause some problems. First game of the year, guys are going to be tired. You don't want to cramp up. You want to save it, make sure nobody gets hurt. And remember, mistakes will cost you early in the season. We saw it the last few years. Teams that have come in heavily favored have cost themselves by not being very disciplined. Hopefully, John W. North and Ramona can do both of those things.
Nick Rice, Jeff Gorham, first game of the high school football season. We are here for kickoff of game one. We have plenty of action, plenty of games coming up on Riverside TV. This is the first. Emmanuel Guzman Velasquez sends it away to get this one started. Juggle to the end zone and down for a touchback. While JW North brings some experience at quarterback, there was two youngsters that had an opportunity to earn the starting job during the spring and summer scrimmages, and Jeremiah Costa won the job. He's the starting quarterback for the Rams tonight.
Yeah, you have Shiner as the backup. Shiner will play a lot of ball tonight. He's also the backup quarterback. He's a slot receiver at times, so we're going to see a lot of Shiner. But we're going to check out this new quarterback that replaces the great Nate Johnson from Ramona, the son of Coach Ken Mashinsky.
Mashinsky in his 7th year with the team. Plenty of challenges in the transition tonight. First pass of the season for Jeremiah Costa. That's Jake Valenzuela on the receiving end of it. And a gain of 15 and a first down.
It's great to see Jake Valenzuela back in uniform. Remember, he was part of that group that was injured last year when they went into the playoffs, nearly upended and won some games without Bo Bruins, without Jake Valenzuela. Now let's see what they can do with him back in the lineup.
After the 15-yard gain, it's 1st and 10, Ramona. High snap, Acosta under duress. He'll take off and run. He's got an ability to make some plays with his feet, too, and that's a gain of 5, maybe 6.
Acosta is really going to have to hold that football tight because those North defenders are going to get right in there and try to slap the heck out of him.
I'm sure he learned a thing or two from the veteran Nathan Johnson.
Well, that was one thing I talked about with Coach Mashinsky on the Coach's Perspective this week, is playing behind great players. You got to learn something. We're going to see right now if he's learned a lot from, like you said, the aforementioned Nate Johnson.
A strong start. They'll go run, and this is another preseason battle won by number 30, Sincere Tolbert. They expect both guys to play, but the starter was not named until just last week, and Sincere Tolbert is the number one guy at tailback, number 30.
And I heard it was a very sincere call. Sincere Tolbert. That's a great name. We've had some. That's an all-name team right here. Sincerely.
Oh, yeah. Now, he is named the thumper of the two guys. The other slasher, Peter Mesa, we'll see him later tonight. Acosta, brilliant with his feet, but took a shot on that throw. Incomplete. Mitch Afungia supplied the pressure for North.
Well, welcome to big boy football.
You know, Nathan Johnson can talk a lot about what it's like to play quarterback, but it's not until you take a lick like that where you know exactly what it takes.
Well, that right there got Nathan Johnson out of football. You know what he's doing right now?
Really?
He's going to UC Santa Barbara. He's surfing. My son wants to be his roommate next year at UC Santa Barbara. Nate Johnson living the great life up in Santa Barbara.
Acosta's going deep, and he's got Valenzuela open. A flag is down as he took a bump inside of the 10. That's Jaden Pitts on the interference.
That's going to be a PI here, I believe. That's going to be a first down for the Rams. Because we don't have the name of the white hat here. We got a brand new crew here. You know, this year on Thursday nights, the games are going to be, like you said, pass interference. They're going to have, games will start at 7:30 due to the referee shortage.
Now, are you talking about Thursday games, Friday games, all year?
All year. The
Wow.
Thursday night games will all be at 7:30, we were told today. The reason being that these referees probably refed a JV or a freshman game earlier in the day, so they have to have time to get to their next assignment. So that's why we're going to have 7:30 starts on Thursday, but we're going to go back to the 7 o'clock times on Friday.
That is great to know. And it's hard enough as Valenzuela makes the catch here, then loses it. A dive for the loose ball. It appeared that Kamar Branch of North got a hand on it, and J.W. North recovers out of the pile. Kalo Granger has the first takeaway of the year.
Granger, a three-time player, 3-year letter winner here at John W. North. His father, Desmond, was one of the greatest basketball players to ever come out of John W. North High School.
Wow.
And a dear friend. So Granger making the play. Like I had told you, Nick Rice, Ramona has to be aware. You have 18 new starters. These big boys from North, O.P. Vaiapulu and his staff, they're going to teach these guys. We're going to sweep. We're going to rake the balls right out of their hand, and that's what happened in that great tackle.
18 new guys in starting lineups for Ramona, but it was the veteran Jake Valenzuela who was the one who committed the turnover. And now Cameron Shannon, a veteran in his own right, he'll take the field with 4 receivers. And that's nearly picked off.
Yeah, great play there by Royce Mendoza. Jumped the gap there. Nearly had an interception on the first play from Cam Shannon.
Cameron Shannon last year, a gifted passer and also a very talented scrambler. Completed 52% of his passes last year, 1,254 yards, 11 touchdown passes, another 4 on the ground. They'll go run. This is Bronson Hogue, a very talented sophomore who gains a dozen and a North first down.
Bronson Hogue, one of those shorter backs that John W. North has had. Remember, Venancio Mekaele, that great name. I used to call him the bowling ball because he was about 2'6" and could hurdle and run through anything.
And he had some deceptive speed, but in talking to the coaches going into the game, they feel Hogue has the chance to maybe even be better. Now, he's a long way away from that, but as a sophomore at starting tailback, certainly promising. Shannon's got a man open, but he overthrew Brian Butler. That could have been a touchdown. Either Branch, the intended target.
Just a little excitement there from Shannon, just kind of overthrew that football, but a great play from North on those wideouts. Talked about the speed of those guys. Boucher, Bobby Boucher. Is it Bobby?
You know, it just might be.
No, what's his first name? It's not Bobby Boucher.
It's Dylan
Dylan?
No relation to him.
Dylan, brother of Bobby Boucher, the water boy, his brother.
Wait a minute, are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was just a goof.
No.
Wow.
This is Bobby Boucher. It's his brother.
That's incredible.
It's really not, but that's okay.
Oh, okay. Shannon trying to make something happen. And he just missed Anthony Zavala. No flag on the field. We've played about 3 minutes. Ramona, with a promising drive, was near the field goal range. Jake Valenzuela lost the football, and now J.W. North faces 3rd and 10.
Ram High showing some blitz, getting to Shannon in the backfield. Look at the best helmets in the Riverside City. Right there, the Rams helmet.
Are those the L.A. Rams?
No, it's the Ramona Rams, the best football helmet in the area. They have the cool new unis. You got the rain cross on the back.
Freshly minute for 2023. Just a 3-man rush, a check down to running back Bronson Hogue, and he is wrapped up well short of the marker. The tackle from Tavin Mesa, number 76.
So great defensive stance here by Ramona. Ramona really has to be careful not to give space to these great athletes. Like you said, Boucher, Butler, and Branch. You give those guys in space, and Hogue as well, in the flat. That could cause some problems because of the speed from John W. North.
Huskies are going to go for it on a 4th and long 5. Ramona lined up in the nickel. They'll bring 4 after Shannon. He's looking left all the way. Gets by the first defender. Evades the second. First down North. He's at the 40. And runs out of bounds well beyond the marker. That's the sort of experience that this coaching staff loves out of their quarterback.
Well, it just showed poise in the pocket. He had nothing to throw to. Great offensive blocks from his linemen to give him that right side of the field. And he was able to slip. And that's a huge momentum builder with 1st and 10 sitting on the 30.
Opening 4th down of the year, and Shannon looked as poised as ever in that pocket. 7th play of this drive, and Shannon and the offense is rolling from the 30. High snap, Shannon with time, going deep for Branch, a bit underthrown and incomplete. Royce Mendoza on the coverage for Ramona. He's one of the few veterans on this Rams defense. They have 4 sophomores starting tonight for Ramona.
And they're going to try to take advantage of those sophomores. I'm sure Coach O.P. Vaiapulu knows exactly who those youngsters are out there in the field.
Two starters on the defensive line. Another one sophomore starting at linebacker for head coach Ken Mushinski to start the season. And here goes Bronson Hogue. He, in fact, midway through last year as a true freshman, stepped in as the backup running back to Venancio Micaele. So this, while he is a sophomore, this guy has shown some huge promise at running back.
And watching Shannon right now, just like I said, the poise and the direction he's leading this ball club kind of reminds me of Charlie Ward. Remember, played at
Florida
Ward,
State, right?
Florida State, but he was an NBA guy, too. He played in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
He gave up football to become a superstar in the NBA, or a mild superstar.
Not a bad gig. Shannon looks left all the way, fires towards the corner, and he finds Carson Branch. Touchdown.
And you got to credit the offensive line on that play, as Shannon had all day to throw, and Branch, with his height, goes right over that top shoulder, makes a huge play in the end zone.
You couldn't have asked for a more accurate throw from Cameron Shannon. With the pocket collapsing, he delivered where only his receiver could get it. That was some pass. And while this is the first game of the year, this offense looks pretty in sync.
Hey, who's our kicker out there?
Looks like Alana Vaipulu with a last name that I think I recognize.
Wait a second. There's a Vaipulu kicking? I love it.
And Anthony Zavala holding. Let's check out her first kick of the year, and this one is no good. Plenty of distance on that kick, just a bit outside.
You know what? That's what was the movie? The other movie, the Ace Ventura. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
You're going to ask me about
you didn't
what
see Ace
movie
Ventura?
with Ace Ventura?
Wide right? That was wide left.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you've never
it's
seen.
It's going to be a
you've
long
never
night
seen.
for me.
It's going to be a long
goodness.
year if you've never seen Ace Ventura.
I don't even know what Ace Ventura is.
Look at O.P. Vaiapulu. I miss he used to have the long, the I don't want to call it a rat tail, but he used to have a really long tail.
He did.
But because that was when he was a Padawan. Now he is now a full-fledged Jedi, so he cut that sucker off. And now look at him. I saw him before the game. He had mousse in his hair. He looked as handsome as I've ever seen. Look at O.P. Vaiapulu. Hair's all perfectly cut.
He might be feeling a little less stressed because this is the first year where he took off the DC headset. He's strictly a head coach, not running the defensive plays.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm glad you knew that. See, I didn't get that from the coach's perspective.
I was wondering why he looked, there's a couple wrinkles gone from last year. I mean, the guy looks much more relaxed and comfortable down there.
Because he's a Jedi. He got rid of that long Padawan braid.
Yeah.
Now, I love O.P. Vaiapulu. Great guy. Came in on the coach's perspective this week and had some high praises, like you said, for a lot of his guys. But the offensive line is the question that he has and wants to see how many points they can get for that young running back, Bronson Hogue.
Vaiapulu, former Pauley head coach, and was the assistant before he took over for Dennis Brown in 2019. Low kickoff from Emmanuel, reeled in inside of the 10-yard line. He won't get much past the 20. The return from Jake Valenzuela, who's the man who lost the fumble to end Ramona's last drive. Despite the turnover, the Rams did some good things on that possession.
Yeah, the Rams are great in defense. They look fine on offense. The last time, they just can't turn the football over. Like I said, early mistakes in the season will cost you games. And that was a big one, led to a turnover for 6 on the next possession.
I just wonder for Vaiapulu, he brought different defensive guys to do the defensive coordinating duties. It's kind of hard to get rid of that role when that was kind of his calling card for so many years here in Riverside.
He had to have Coach DeWitt, who is now on the staff here at John W. North. Remember, he was head coach at Riverside Poly, a phenomenal guy to have on your sidelines.
Yeah. The Jedi will figure it out.
Jedi, and remember, he got an ESPY award. Coach DeWitt won an ESPY back in the day.
1st and 5 after the early movements. And a short run near the marker for Ramona's Sincere Tolbert. As mentioned, all-name team, Sincere. Looks like Ramona has a guy a bit hobbled up right now. Matt Wilson on the offensive line is hobbling around right now.
Yeah, he took a funny-looking tumble. Looked like he bent backwards, and he hurt his lower back. But, yeah, I saw him that play. Took a tackle, maybe his leg, and just was awkward. Look at the big boys up front, though, from Ramona.
But Wilson back in there on the offensive line. Tolbert in to join Acosta. They'll give it to him, and he is pulled down right across the marker. They didn't need much, but that's a first down for Ramona.
A big 77 took him down.
Yeah. Eric Santiago Barber
just put his arm out and stopped him in his tracks.
It seems like Vaiapulu and that defense always has big guys up front capable of stopping the run. And that seems to be the bread and butter for this guy. Stop the run and run the football. JW North, their annual philosophy seems to be exactly that. Job well done in quarter 1 of the season. A 6-0 lead for North midway through the quarter. Tolbert took a shot on the inside run.
And that's going to be helmet to helmet. That's going to be an extra 15 tagged on here, I believe. Because Tolbert looks like if we go back on the replay here, hits his head pretty hard on the turf. Well, let's see what they call here. It looked like as we go to the white hat. Yeah, so that'll be a personal foul.
We appreciate all the refs working double time for the JV game and for tonight. This is a long week for the refs who've got to come back on Friday, right?
Come on, referees, toughen up.
Toughen up.
You got a referee. We'll be back here tomorrow. Well, we won't be back here, but we will be back for the second game of our season, and that'll be Hillcrest versus Riverside Poly. Going to get a new look of the Bears this year under their brand new head coach,
Jerron
Gilbert. Played in the NFL.
Oh.
For 4 years. Played up at San Jose State.
Acosta going deep. He's got a man open. It's underthrown, and that should be interference. Austin Dixon with the hit of Antonio Lerma.
And that's going to be another penalty against North. And like I said, you can't commit goofy penalties. And so far here tonight, North is 2 here on this drive.
You know, this does look like the first quarter of the first game.
And we've seen
high school season.
We've seen it happen before. Teams come in and will lose games based on the discipline. And, you know, just mistakes, early game, getting tired.
Yeah.
And it's 135 degrees out here.
135 degrees. How are they surviving down there?
They're tough. Football players are tough. But it was at least 100 until about 7 o'clock.
A balmy day today from Riverside, but a perfect night for some football. Tolbert gains a couple and is stacked up just across the line of scrimmage. Ken Mushinski and the Rams, they tried to put together a gauntlet this year, and while they don't necessarily have all the opponents they anticipated having coming into the year, their one load road game is in a couple of weeks at Palm Springs. Good luck for them dealing with the elements over there. I asked them, just one game outside of the city of Riverside all year. How do you deal with that? And he feels the experience from last year really bode well for this season.
You know,
those road games are huge.
And then, of course, you have North is going to play Beaumont next week. Beaumont's really tough. Coach Steinberg over there. Chino Hills, Roosevelt non-league.
Acosta finds Mendoza on a slant, gain of about 5.
And then they'll finish up their 5th game of the season against another Riverside team, and that'll be at home versus Martin Luther King. Then they start.
We'll have that on Riverside TV.
Yeah, then they start their regular season. I'll tell you, it doesn't get any easier. You got Orange Vista, Rancho Verde, Temescal Canyon, Elsinore, and Heritage to end the year. So the Huskies have themselves a tough schedule ahead.
The fake to Tolbert, and that pass is dropped. Penalties dropped. Exactly what you'd expect at this time of the year. Interesting decision coming up for Ramona on a 4th down. It looks like they're going to go for it.
And the Rams have they have a great preseason schedule. In fact, they have another one next week against a very, very good Kaiser team. Billy Cardosi opening his season tomorrow night.
It begins with this beautiful city matchup. A 4th down throw from Acosta is incomplete. That has to be pretty frustrating. Ramona put together a brilliant drive, and the offense stalls on a play like that.
Yeah, a couple drop passes, one in there in the flat here in the play before this. Probably could have got them a little closer, and now they're going to have to play some defense. And let's see if those sophomores can hold up against this potent Husky offense.
Right, so you're looking at the Ramona schedule, and some tough ones. They played Kaiser down to the bell last year. They'll play him again.
But they have King, another Riverside team, Poly, Hillcrest, La Sierra, Arlington, and Norte Vista. So a very, very heavy Riverside matchup.
And Riverside TV is going to cover a couple of those. And that extra, as that Shannon throws just a bit wide of Damian Mendoza, that extra pressure, I wonder if the players know coming in, there's extra blue shirts walking around. This is a televised event.
Heck yeah. Kids are excited. They know they're on TV. It's a big game.
And it's a little bit bigger when it's a city game. You know, the whole town's coming out to watch these two. We appreciate everyone who joined us tonight, and our doubleheader continues tomorrow with the aforementioned Trojans and Bears meeting in Riverside.
Oh, my.
This is Bronson Hogue, their dazzling sophomore. And it looks like he fell just a bit short of the 1st down. Marked out at the 25. Gain of 8.
Yeah, Hogue decided to try to get outside. Probably could have darted inside, got a little bit more yardage.
Hogue is just a true freshman behind a great Venancio Michaele, a guy that he certainly looked up to last year.
I don't know if he looked up to him. He's a teeny guy.
Teeny. Shannon, he's looking deep, but he'll take off and run. It is a brisk 8-yard scamper from Shannon and a first down. For those of you just joining us, JW North took advantage of a Jake Valenzuela turnover and marked 70 yards for the game's only points. A Shannon touchdown pass to Carson Branch. He's one of the 4 wide out there on a first down and 10 yards to go. This is Shannon. And that is underthrown and nearly picked off again. A very anxious Ani King got a hand on it for Ramona.
I'll tell you what, that's twice. He could have had a couple interceptions go right through his hands. He jumped the route pretty good there.
Yeah, couldn't have played it any better. But, you know, that's why they're playing defense and not offense sometimes, right?
Exactly.
Second down and 10 yards to go. 4 receivers in for Shannon and the offense. Zavala's the motion man. He'll get the call and runs out of real estate. He might have been horse-collared, indeed he was. 15 yards and a first down. Tough break. You can see him frustrated. Ramona's Gavin McGowan, a veteran, just a bit too anxious on the tackle. And Zavala was already basically out of bounds.
Yeah, McGowan, Moshinsky had some great things to say about McGowan. I don't think he's going to say anything great about that, but
he knows it. I mean, he was slapping his head. That's one of those tough breaks. But this JW North offense, and the coach talked about it going in on your coach's report. We're going to get the playmakers involved, and I'd say the playmakers have absolutely gotten their touches early.
They move from a tight to a wide here. Let's see what they do against this Ramona defense.
Rams bring 5. Shannon's looking deep again. Nothing's there, so he'll take off, and Shannon's got enough. A gain of, well, maybe they give him a yard short. That's 9 and near a first down. It looked like he got it. He's so deceptively fast.
And smart. You know, he's not trying to go for the home run. He just wants to get some yards, get out of bounds, playing smart football there.
Over 200 passes last year, and only 3 of them were interceptions. Very smart quarterback for head coach Opalani Vaipulu. Crowd on its feet. Hogue turns the corner and motors to about the 39-yard line. This will be a tough spot for our officials. And they signal first down. Gain of a yard for Bronson Hogue. He's got the speed and also the power we're realizing against a good team in Ramona. Strong start for the sophomore. And for the Huskies, we've seen for years they're a run first, run second football team, but with the experience at quarterback and wide receiver, this is one of the first times we've seen Vaipulu in this offense go pass first in a lot of these plays.
He's become a passing machine.
Yeah,
OP Vaipulu. Maybe we'll see that with Ken Batdorf next week when Norte Vista makes their debut on Riverside TV this year.
Remember who Norte Vista's playing next week? We'll figure that one out.
I do.
All right. The initial ruling on that Hogue run was a first down, but they list him just a bit short on the measurement.
Yeah, we will have the Shadow Hills Norte Vista game.
Shadow Hills. All right. That's a debut for
Ken
might
Batdorf
be ever for Shadow Hills. I don't think we've covered them yet.
I'll tell you what, Ken Batdorf has the best Norte Vista team he's probably ever had.
First down on a gain of about 5. It seems like Norte Vista's always been on the brink You know, in such the tough division, the River Valley League. They went 3-2 in the league last year, third place. So you're saying this year might be the year for them?
I'm saying it is the year for them.
Oh, we're making guarantees on.
You know, Batdorf has a new nickname.
Really?
He's the Bat Mamba. Yeah, I saw him
Bat
wearing a leg.
Mamba?
I saw him wearing a leg sleeve like Kobe Bryant, and I said, "Look, it's the Bat Mamba."
It's the Bat Mamba. We've got the Jedi and the Bat Mamba on Riverside TV. A wide open Anthony Zavala touchdown, JW North.
And there was nobody within 20 yards of that young fella. So they took advantage of those sophomores in Ramona's secondary.
John W. North, last year at Ramona, fell behind by 14 in the first quarter of that eventual loss, 35-25. The Huskies, with the experience and the confidence from last year's game and the good things they did there, have jumped on Ramona, giving them a taste of their own medicine. A strong start for the Huskies. Alana Vaipulu, a chance to tack on the extra point. Anthony Zavala scored the touchdown. He puts it down, and Vaipulu with room to spare. A flag is down, though, as the kick is good. Let's check out that touchdown again. The Rams might have had botched coverage there. Zavala was wide open.
Yeah, Zavala just snuck out underneath, and nobody talked, and he was wide open. Yeah, going back, what a beautiful view, though, of this new field here at John W. North, as RUSD taking care of their schools here in Riverside. I wish we could get a new field over at Norte Vista. Ken Batdorf, and we just mentioned, still playing on that grass. He was supposed to get a brand new stadium this year, but didn't happen.
Wow. Well, Hillcrest got the new stadium last year. Ramona got the new turf last year. RCC developed its home stadium last year.
Yeah, RCC is, who knows where they're going to play this year. We have yet to find out, but we will be covering their home games for Riverside TV. We're going to have 20-plus games this season, as always.
Oh, check out that.
Beautiful view.
Man. Off of 3rd in Chicago.
A beautiful night here. It's the
but looks can be deceiving.
It
is hot.
The heat index of the sun.
Man, what a beautiful scene, though, here.
But how great is it here? We got a full crowd.
Yeah.
You have the Blue Star Regiment, the world's greatest band. You have the cheerleaders on hand. You got
RCC will give them a run for their money.
My alma mater over here. Oh, well, RCC, they have like 900 cheerleaders.
Yeah. Crowd on its feet for Emmanuel Guzman Velasquez.
He has 3 names.
Triple the kicking power. In fact, it's so strong, Valenzuela muffed it, got by the first wave. He has one to beat, and that's the man who got him at the 35-yard line. He certainly made something out of nothing, very nearly a turnover again for Velasquez. Or Valenzuela,
yeah,
sorry.
Valenzuela. He's got some loose,
there for a second.
He's got some slippery hands. He might need to get some new gloves there. He needs to run over to the trainer. Look, he lost it there. He'd say, spray some Tough Skin on my gloves. Those of you that remember back in the 70s, they didn't have gloves. They used to spray well, it was illegal, of course.
Oh.
But we used to spray the stuff that the trainers would use to tape your ankles. And that was the Stickum. He called it Tough Skin. You might need to spray some Tough Skin on those gloves.
Yeah. Here's Tolbert on the inside handoff. And he stacked up just short of the first down.
But you'd be happy with that. You're getting, 5-6 yards of carry here, just running off tackle.
Well, speaking of the gloves, he's one of the few guys, Sincere Tolbert, no gloves, nothing.
Because he has hands of stone.
He has very sincere hands.
He has very soft, sincere hands.
We'll figure out. We got nicknames for the coaches. We'll figure out one for sincere.
Oh, you have Coach Chancla over there. You have Frank Berber, the defensive line coach for the Rams, one of my dear friends. wife Alicia Berber, head basketball coach at RCC.
Berber's been there for quite a while building a winner at RCC. First down run for Jeremiah Acosta.
She's been there for, I would say, roughly 75 years.
Roughly, give or take.
A great basketball player ever in her own right. All-American. Now she's always working with Cheryl Miller. Cheryl Miller
right,
and Alicia Berber are always together. The greatest women's basketball player and her friend, Alicia Berber.
Related to the great Reggie Miller of the
Now,
Pacers.
he's okay, Reggie Miller. Don't call anybody great.
Reggie's related to the great Cheryl Miller.
She's
That's how it works.
There you go. There you go.
Acosta under duress again, and he's pulled down. That might go down as a 1-yard loss. Tyrone Roberts with the play. Number 44.
Joel Nunez just came up a little lame. Looks like he might have hurt his hamstring. He's going to stay out there for the Rams, but
Roberts has been...
He just funneled him right to the middle of the field and did exactly what they were supposed to do, the Huskies there.
Like you said, yeah, he's working on the hobbled Matt Wilson. We'll see if that'll hamper his ability to protect Jeremiah Acosta. But whether it's him or the rest, J.W. North has done a great job up front pressuring Acosta tonight. We'll see if they can get to him on this play. But first, it looks like we've reached the end of the quarter. No, they called timeout.
They called timeout with 3 seconds.
Interesting.
Here.
Well,
Mush playing a little bit of a little cat and mouse here, calling timeout.
Interesting. And with that, quick reminder, Riverside TV is back on tomorrow. Hillcrest and Pauley. Travis Carter, meanwhile, in his 5th year with the Trojans. He's starting to build a winner out there in Riverside.
I'll tell you what, he's got some question marks as well. We talked to him at the coach's perspective. Said, hey, he's not too sure what to expect from his guys, but another great game against another Riverside team.
It was the Rams' Ken Mashinsky calling the team's first timeout for this first of our weekend doubleheader, with that game tomorrow slated at 7. Nick Rice, Jeff Gorham. We're back. It's high school football in Riverside, game 1 of the year. We've got coverage all year long of Riverside high school football with one of the best preseason matchups you could put together with these two very popular city schools. Jake Valenzuela, the jet sweep, but North was ready for it. Kamar Branch, the veteran lineman. Makai Hill was there too. It seemed everybody in the Huskies was there for the tackle. They'll face 3rd and 12 when we switch sides to the second. A 2-yard loss for Valenzuela to close the first.
That was just a couple of missed blocks there. Royce Mendoza didn't finish through. You got to play through the whistle.
Well, you have your heartbeat all over this football team, Ramona. There's a look at them. The Rams are dealing with some changes, of course, more changes than Mashinsky's ever had, so you had to anticipate it might be not the smoothest transition during the preseason.
But, you look at it, and I've talked to Mush. Mush and I are good friends, and I think the world of him, as everybody knows. But, you lose 27 guys. There's 27 more that come out. I mean, he has, over 100 kids in his program, so it's thriving. Ramona itself, I mean, you can feel it's palpable on campus. We saw it going to their games at Ram High. They've got something going, and it does help when your team has won. They've made the playoffs every year under Coach Mashinsky. He'll get these guys going. They're just young, and like I said, next man up, stepping in.
This team, since he took over, has moved up 7 divisions in the CIFs. He's built this team into certainly one recognized across the state. Acosta on a 3rd and 12 throws right in front of the line of scrimmage. It's a first down pickup. What a play from Acosta to buy time, and there's Jake Valenzuela.
There's their playmaker, Valenzuela, big-time play, went up and grabbed that football, and they made something out of nothing there.
27 catches, and 8 of them were touchdowns last year for Valenzuela. That is the home run threat he is on every play for the Rams. Acosta pretty good too, buying some time. And they said that of the two guys battling for the starting quarterback spot for the Rams, Acosta was the guy with the arm. It was Cody Shiner, the wide receiver, who was the faster, more agile player. Acosta's got some of that athleticism too.
Yeah, like I said, we'll see a lot of Shiner in the that's going to be against the Rams. So it's coming back.
There's a look at Acosta, though, number 9, the man who made the throw. He's just 5'5". He's got all the tools, but he's like a Kyler Murray running around out there. Beautiful throw for the first down. But, you know, this was a bit expected. You know, a lot of these schools had dealt with some of these during the preseason, trying to figure out, build some chemistry with these guys. And shoot, these guys are just getting acclimated to their school schedules.
Yeah, it just started school last week, or this week maybe in some instances.
Right. 3rd down and 12. Jake Valenzuela already with 3 catches tonight, 1 wiped off with the penalties to the bottom of your screen. Acosta looks left, throws a middle screen. He bumps into his own guy, Wilson, and is taken down. The Huskies' Mitch Afungia makes the stop.
Another great defensive effort here by the Huskies.
Let's check out that play again, just a simple middle screen. This looks like a well-coached veteran defense. J.W. North.
Yeah, Mendoza caught that in front of his screen, so he had to kind of get behind him.
You know, J.W. North jumped onto the map last year with the defense playing really well, rather 2 seasons ago, setting a school record in wins. It's a muff at the 15-yard line. It bounced right off of the chest of Jaden Pitts, the return man, and Ramona nearly got it.
Yeah, hit him right in a bad spot. The hands and chest. But the North guys there, smart pickup there, playing through the whistle, able to get the ball.
Let's check that out again. Oh. It's amazing that the Huskies recovered it. Heads-up play from number 18, Jordan Nance. But 2 years ago, J.W. North set a school record with 11 wins. It was an outstanding year for Opalani Vaipulu. A down year in 2022, but this is the team that looked like 2021. Experience up front, experienced quarterback, and a running game that can help you close out wins.
But a tough, like I said, a losing record, but still got second place in a very tough league last year.
They made the playoffs. Hogue on the call, not very much. Gain of about a yard for Hogue. Now they will be leaning on the sophomore. In fact, they love him so much. North has experience at running back. Micaiah Hill, Calvin Rivers, Elias Collazo, but Hogue has been the bell cow for him tonight. And he'll dot the I on 2nd down and a short 10. He breaks 1 tackle, slips through again, stays on his feet to the 20, taken down to the 25, a slippery run. Late flag 2, tempers are flying right now, and someone lost their helmet.
I'm going to say this is going to be an offsetting penalty. Let's see if I call correctly in the first game of the year.
Oh.
Let's see. I think it's going to be personal foul.
Well, you already basically said Notre Vista is going to win this league.
They're going to win. I think they should win the River Valley League.
Interesting.
Remember, they have Tajon Henderson, the transfer from Riverside Poly last year, is now enrolled, and they're going to call offsetting penalty. Oh, they threw somebody out.
Wow. Just a simple running play from Hogue. So they'll face 3rd and short, but for J.W. North, they've controlled the clock. Shannon has shown some promise. There's Opalani Vaipulu, the Jedi, having his words with the officials.
Now, there has been an ejection, so whoever was ejected is going to have to sit out the very next game as well. So
interesting.
Tough one for Ramona.
Well, the guy that came off was number 75 of North, Albert Bastidas. I wonder if that was the guy they threw out or not. We're trying to figure that part out.
Well, see if he gets escorted off the field here.
Would it be the first half of the next week or the entire next week?
I believe it's the entire next week.
Wow.
I'm not too sure he was kicked out over here on the north sideline just because he is still here. And there's a timeout.
That time, Mopolani Vaipulu, JW North coach, calls the team's first timeout. Both have two. 10-14 to go in a one-sided first half. Ramona, 10-win season again last year, comes out with so many changes, and it looks like they've been a little bit shell-shocked by North in this first half.
Yeah,
They've shown some things, but not enough.
Yeah, you have 18 new players starting on both sides of the football, so it's going to be a learning curve here.
And you knew it'd be, pretty emotional, the city game to begin the year. This is the one, you win this, and it puts you on the map. In fact, that's kind of the talk of the town, whenever the two schools here, either North or the one they play a little bit later this year on Riverside TV against King. Those are all games that certainly are talked about in Riverside. And for years, this city has been, clamoring for more inter-city games, but it's certainly not an easy task to, put those schedules and have them line up.
Well, the thing is, we've talked about it. In fact, a big proponent of that is Steve Madrill, who was the former head baseball coach at King High School. He is now teaching here back at his alma mater at John W. North High School, and I fully agree with him. I think we should have a de facto city championship. You could do it. You just schedule the 5 best teams, 6 best teams in the area, and you play each other. You can schedule those games, and you can kind of have a city champ, which I think would be awesome.
I think OP had talked about maybe playing a Pauley next year. That would be pretty cool, but obviously that's, something you put in pencil.
But everybody wants to play Pauley because everybody wants to beat Pauley.
Oh.
There's another penalty, a 5-yarder, but bringing up 4th.
Well, certainly if the Rams want to get back in the game, they may want to lean on Jake Valenzuela, who might not get a shot on this return. Luckily for North, that punt wasn't blocked. Fernando Zavala with an excellent job to evade the pressure from the Rams, and Ramona's got a short field. At the 44-yard line, 9:06 to play in the half. It's 13-0 JW North on Riverside TV.
Yeah, that was a tough kick there. I mean, if he would have hit somebody's hand, it could have been a different ball game.
Right. The Rams last year, led by Nathan Johnson, scored over 38 points per game last year, first in the River Valley League. An offense, even with the departure, still capable of an explosion, but instead it's a loose football, and it looks like Kalo Granger has recovered. Second takeaway of the half for North. Granger, number 2 on the fumble recovery ledger for him. He might not have stickum on his gloves, Jeff Gorham, but he's got a knack for finding where the football is. Has been a magnet right now. Check that out again. Granger in the perfect spot to scoop up the loose ball.
And there, the ref goes down. Down goes Frazier. In fact, we'll have some local teams playing tomorrow. In fact, we're going to talk a little bit more later on about our Friday night show post-game. The Friday night pep rally. Norte Vista will be in action. We're going to have highlights from his game as they play Capo Valley as the rough and tough Norte Vista Braves go into Orange County.
I think Pep knows a thing or two about high school football in this area.
A little bit.
Anthony Zavala on the bubble screen is near first down yardage.
Our camera guy, Trevor, just got hurt. I hope he's not hurt. He's up. He's walking.
We're seeing refs go down.
Refs.
But Trevor's all right.
Oh, Trevor, please don't hurt Trevor. Trevor's he's a doll. He's such a nice man.
He's such a doll.
He's a doll.
I wonder if he has the headset on right now.
I hope so. I'm glad he's okay.
Shannon throws it back. Zavala might want to throw it. Lateral to Shannon, and he's a pretty good guy in open space, too. The quarterback at the 20. Cameron Shannon, tight ropes, and he is in. Touchdown, Huskies.
There is a flag on the play. There's two,
and
actually.
Another one.
That's one thing we've talked about. You can't be goofy.
Well, when Vaipulu talked about getting the playmakers involved, I didn't anticipate that. The Jedi with a bag of tricks.
A little trickery here, but let's see what the call is.
Now, I wonder if he had his fingerprints on that or maybe the other coaches did. Now, that was some play call from the head coach.
Here's the white hat here with the call.
So that's a personal foul. Touchdown stands because it's on Ramona, I want to say, or was it after the play?
It was after the play, so it's going to be addressed on the kickoff.
They ran the, what would you call that play, Jeff Gore?
Kind of like a flea flicker, but except
flicker.
He didn't throw it. He didn't re-throw it.
That was some play call. Hopefully we get another look at that. We'll get a look at that in just a moment. But it's incredible that this guy, Cameron Shannon, is a quarterback with wide receiver speed. That was some run.
That was
for
Charlie
Shannon.
Ward-esque, I told you. He's Charlie Ward.
So, yes. Now, from the way the official just, it appeared that it was there was personal fouls on both teams. So I wonder how they'll play that. Maybe the offsetting. North back on the board. Shannon with a touchdown catch to go along with his 2 touchdown passes.
It was a double pass. Arlington is in action tonight. They're playing Western Christian. We can get an update on that a little later. We might have to talk about that score. And like I said, Hillcrest playing at Riverside Poly tomorrow. And La Sierra, let's look at where La Sierra is playing. La Sierra is playing Carter. And that will be at Norte Vista.
Exciting week
Tomorrow
of high school football
night.
to get it started. Alana Vaipulu off of the upright. It's good. Everything going the way of the Vaipulus. It's 20-0 Huskies. Here is that touchdown. A thing of beauty from Zavala back to Shannon.
All I know is Zavala looked pretty good throwing that.
Yeah.
Good release. I thought he stepped out of bounds. Yes, he did.
Oh.
I thought he did, and I knew it. Watch.
Zavala is the backup quarterback.
Okay, now watch. Shannon, I believe, steps. I think he steps on the line or out of bounds about the 10-yard line.
Oh, zoom out, do it.
He's there.
There he was.
Yep.
7-yard line. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but
I got my bifocals on. I saw that one.
what a run from Shannon. 3 total touchdowns in the first half, back in action. Opalani Vaipulu takes over as head coach of the Huskies, immediately takes them to the quarterfinals in the CIF playoffs and set a school record for wins with 11 in just his rookie year as head coach. So, and what I've noticed over the years is he just looks more comfortable down there. You know, maybe it's the first year being at the controls of a very well-watched program at JW North. That's a lot of pressure, but now he just looks so much more comfortable down there.
Well, I mean, he does have, he came in, replaced a legend himself. And so, I mean, he's aware of what is at stake here at John W. North High School.
15 wins in just 2 years for Vaipulu. 15 wins and 8 losses. While they signaled 2 personal fouls, I was under the impression it was offsetting. They're both on North. Check out this field position. They've got a couple down there to return. Peter Mesa, number 21, deep for Ramona. Emmanuel Guzman Velasquez. Descended away. Line drive, plenty of height on this one. Mesa juggles it. Finds a seam to the 40 and is taken down just short of midfield. The Rams have had a few promising drives, but with the Valenzuela fumble to begin and then the Tolbert fumble to cap the last drive, that has to be really the story going into halftime for head coach Ken Mushinski, those turnovers.
Yeah, Mushins can't be happy about that. But O.P. Vaiapulu and John W. North, they capitalize on those.
And you said it. They're going to rip at that football, and you were right.
It's like I said, you're playing against 18 new players. You have to, I hate to say it, you scare them a little bit. You got to be mean, and, you reach, you do the things that you're told not to do, but good things happen against inexperience. The Rams will figure it out. Just might not be tonight.
Tolbert's dazzling run and takes a shot from Granger.
And there's a helmet to helmet. I think Granger is going to
Wow.
get hit with that one.
Well, you can say Charlie Ward for their quarterback. I'll say Brian Dawkins for their star safety, and he might have hurt himself on that play. Number 3, Carlo Granger.
Let's see here. I think there's going to be some helmet to helmet here.
Boom.
Yep, there you go.
Looked just like a Brian Dawkins. Tack on 15 to the run, and for head coach Ken Mushinski, you hope that they can capitalize on a very promising start to the drive. That Valenzuela fumble to begin the game was inside of the 25-yard line. They had a very good drive going.
With North leading 20-0, I think a lot of people who's watched North over the years, especially the last couple of years, is they've been a little chippy, and it's, their penalties have cost them games. I'm sure Coach O.P. Vaiapulu is telling his guys, if you're in a closer game than this, you could lose just by these goofy penalties.
Right. Jeremiah Costa, named just last week starting quarterback for Ramona, hands to Tolbert, who takes another shot but evades to the 25-yard line. A gain of 4.
I like Tolbert. Tolbert's a good runner. He's going to have to get used to taking some contact and spinning. You watch him, he takes a hit, but he kind of just turns his back and stops. He's got to be able to spin quickly off of that. He's leaning in with his back. That's how you get hurt.
Yeah.
You got to be careful there, young fella.
There's a look at the man who delivered the hit. That's Mitch Afungia, not Granger, who's down. Into double coverage. That pass from Acosta is incomplete. Jake Valenzuela in the area for Ramona. And that has been the game plan early, and I think North is starting to pick it up. Valenzuela's so good, why don't we just double that guy?
I'd like to see Ramona run their old post pattern, just right up the middle. See if they can open up that middle section, because they are throwing it to the corners, but they're double teaming the corners every single time. Let's see if they can run a post here, get something up the middle, generate some offense. Outside
of their top 2 receivers, Mendoza and Valenzuela, the returning talent for Ramona at wide receiver and tight end, just 6 catches for their career at Ramona. So a lot of these guys are getting their sea legs wet against a very good defense at JW North. Now, I didn't catch the penalty there, Jeff Gorham. Potentially maybe another personal foul.
Another personal foul.
My goodness. Golden opportunity for the Rams late in the half. 20-0 North. 3 touchdowns out of their quarterback. 2 in passing and 1 in receiving. Acosta to the end zone. It's a Ramona touchdown. Israel Bracamonte reels it in. A 6'1" senior receiver looks a little more like a tight end. Just 1 catch for 1 yard last year. That's it for Bracamonte. His first catch of 2023 is a Ram score.
So you telling me he had one catch last year for 1 yard?
Boy, that was some important yard, I'm sure.
He just what, quadruple?
Yeah.
10 times.
Blew away the stat sheet on that one. The extra point is good. 20-7, JW North. You know, it's funny, in a long football game, you never know if one play can make the difference in a comeback. If they are going to come back, Bracamonte got them started right here. Mendoza recovered it for good measure.
I'm not sure how that would have scored if it was a fumble.
Right.
If the ball is on the bottom, if your hand is on the bottom of the ball like that, I don't know if that's I don't know. I think that would be almost a fumble, would it not?
The Patriots lost a football game on that type of play, where their tight end, Jonnu Smith, scored.
See. Watch. Let's see how the ball.
Oh, you know what
I mean?
I've seen that before. They called that incomplete, I think, or a fumble in games before.
Look at the eagle eye we have with the Riverside TV crew.
Woo.
You're on it. Good job, fellas.
Mid-season form for an award-winning camera crew. We have our full crew in tonight on Riverside TV. We're grateful you can join us for another year of high school football in the city of Riverside, where last year I want to say 5 teams made the playoffs, maybe 6? 6. And that is excluding RCC.
And we had a state champion. It's California School for the Deaf Riverside.
Woo.
And another penalty called on, I believe it's on North. It's going to be another personal foul. There's 2 flags that came out. There's just a lot of talking out there.
This one on North. Oh, I'm sorry, on Ramona.
Offsetting.
Oh, okay. Boy, these officials are going to need to get a little ice bath after their double duty tonight. I got sympathy for the refs. I don't know about you, but I got some.
Sympathy for referees?
Yeah, we're sitting up here all nice and cozy.
How do you think this is cozy, Nick Rice? Nick Rice, it's like 110 in here. I'm sweating.
Yeah, there's no air in here, man.
I have long pants on. I am wearing long pants.
Now, I don't know if that has to do with them. That has to do with you.
It's just hot. Don't tell me it's cozy in here. I'm not hugging you.
Shannon, nearly a safety on that play. Open up the rule book if an offensive lineman caught a pass.
There goes the lot of penalties here.
Ramona might have a case for safety if that pass didn't cross the line. Deshaun Jefferson might have been the intended target on that play, number 69. And, a couple of collegiate coaches came by to ask about Deshaun Jefferson and that offensive line, and they are very encouraged by the progression of 1 through 5 up front for JW North. They have a very talented O-line. Talented in blocking, not in catching.
That was his one and only chance at being a wide receiver.
Blew it. Oh.
Let's see if Ramona doesn't get caught, though, if they go blitz here.
Opalani Vaipule, I wouldn't put it past him to have another offensive lineman make a catch. Shannon, take a look at his speed. Smart decision. The quarterback slides on a gain of 12. That's for number 12, Cameron Shannon. And it's not all the time that a coach gets a top flight quarterback with experience and smarts like Cameron Shannon. So they're very excited by the opportunities for this offense this year with him at quarterback. 3rd down and a long 2. They'll fake the jet sweep and go draw, and North sophomore Bronson Hogue had no chance. Gavin McGowan, one of the first there for Ramona, and a rare 3-and-out for the offense. It didn't help that the Huskies commit a personal foul to back them up to the 10, and then a false start to back them up to the 5 on that drive.
Well, if I'm Coach Mashinsky and I'm only down, you're you're within this ball game still. I think they have a shot to score here at the end of the half. But if you're Mashinsky and you were going into this ball game with a bunch of sophomores playing as defensive backs in that secondary, you've got to be pretty happy. Only a couple mistakes. That one pass that went into the end zone. But other than that, they've been pretty solid defensively.
And they've got a dangerous return man in Jake Valenzuela. The Rams got last year's game against JW North started with a Bo Bruins return touchdown. This penalty will give us an opportunity to talk about him. In the last 2 years, Bo Bruins, that's just 25 games. He scored 72 total touchdowns.
What? 72?
Jeez.
He is now a gray shirt, hoping to play next year at RCC under the great head coach Tom Kraft.
Not a very long punts.
Nope.
Tough break for JW North. Ball boys getting some action down there on the sideline. So let's see how long that punt was. They'll mark it at the 33-yard line. So put on a 10-yard punt for size, Jeff Gorham. Actually, less than that. They move it up to the 28-yard line. 27. 5-yard punt.
The Ram High here could get within a touchdown if they can score here with under 5:30 to go here in the first half.
Can't ask for better field position. Rams capped off the last drive with an Acosta touchdown to Israel Bracamonte. Acosta turns something out of nothing, and a late flag too.
And there you go. There's another, and there's Coach Mush is running out to check his quarterback.
Meanwhile, the coaching staff on North, hands on their hips, they are getting furious down there. And who could blame them? Rams, you look at the stat sheet, they've been outplayed, but it's due to the struggles in the penalty department where they might give them a chance to get right back in the ball game. There's Vaipulu on the sideline right there, looking lean and mean.
And Coach DeWitt was looking lean
too.
He was looking lean. But look, anybody that says this is not a foul.
You saw number 61 come in late, Jacob Arellano. Tough break and a first down on the personal foul. From the 10, run Sincere Tolberts. And he slashes towards the goal line. No signal yet. It looked like he was short.
Yeah, it looked
Might
like
have
he
even lost the football.
They're going to call a touchdown.
Wow. Sincere Tolbert has run the Rams all the way back in the game. At the end of the first quarter, off of that Shannon flea-flicking touchdown, it looked like they were in full control of this football game. It's amazing how quickly things can turn.
Yeah, and like I said, it's the mistakes, Nick Rice. Mistakes.
I hear you loud and clear. Got to keep things clean.
And that has been the Achilles heel for this Husky team at the last couple of years.
So you're saying penalties and turnovers aren't going to help you win games?
They are not. Look at Ramona playing, just trying to play smart football. They're playing. They're not playing scared, but they're playing to win here.
Right. Low snap, and that kick is good. 20-14 North, and this is a great opportunity for the. Oh, and another flag has been thrown. I was going to say North, a great opportunity to right the ship, but they better be careful. They might lose all sorts of field position on the kickoff here.
Well, they might lose players. I mean, how many times can you?
Man.
I mean, these are all just talking penalties.
Here's Tolbert first. He did lose the ball at the 1-yard line, so that was a fumble, but the Rams recovered for a touchdown. Hard to see who came away with the ball on that Tolbert fumble.
So another unsportsmanlike conduct call is the White Hats having a word with Opi Vaipulu.
I'd say that's probably the story that Vaipulu will talk about at the half, just the penalties. And that was the issue last year. I mean, it's a little extra emotion in a city game because I would assume that everyone you know is going to be watching tonight.
There is another penalty. It was just thrown on the sideline of J.W. North. So another unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, you're familiar with the coaching ranks, Jeff Gorham, a wily veteran that you are. There's officiating crews that call things tight and officiating crews who don't.
And apparently we have one that is not going to put up with anything. That's going to.
Yep.
Let's see what they're going to call. I wonder if a coach or a player said something, but they're looking for somebody.
Oh, they're pointing right at Vaipulo. Oh, no way. Are they throwing him out?
Hey, why did y'all vote for the homecoming team?
Give him that signal.
Let's see here.
Voted for rodeo. What about paradise?
They're giving this signal, Jeff Gorham. I don't know what that one was, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the signal to kick to move him out.
It did look
It
like
wasn't-
an ejection. I don't know if OP is still there.
Right, very strange. Well, nevertheless, here's the kickoff, and that'll see the track.
Yeah, a lot of action going on here.
And a lot of anxious fans. You know, they came in looking for a show, and it got started that way. What was strange is that the beginning of the game was played pretty well for both sides. They avoided the penalties early. We saw a clean football game. And then it was that first altercation where one of the Rams had their helmet ripped off, and that started this whole fireworks show. We'll see if North can right the ship and get back to what helped them build a 20-0 lead. And that could certainly liven up the crowd if they can put points on the board right here. It's a first down to the 20.
Hey, come on, get low.
Rams will line up in the nickel defense, and Shannon's going to throw it. He finds Hogue out of the backfield. And he motors ahead with a second effort. Some play from Hogue. In fact, he's got the first down.
I believe there was an ejection by a coach. It just wasn't not Coach Vaiapulu. So the Huskies will be down 1 coming into next game. Great play there.
That was some effort from Vaiapulu, and a good job. That might have been Trevor on that sideline cam.
And another flag
Oh, man.
against J.W. North. So they are
Now, I'm not
really-
seeing some of these. So, like you said, it might just be talking penalties. Because it does not look egregious at all. Another chance to test out that secondary. 1st and 15. Rams are running press coverage on the outside. Shannon the snap. He's looking deep. Takes a shot, and he's got a man open, but it's underthrown. Tipped from Mendoza and incomplete. Dylan Boucher. The open receiver downfield.
Good throw there.
Not
Great
a water
defensive-
boy from him.
No.
No.
But no, good throw. Just a little bit underthrown, but great defense by Ramona. Look at he gets his hand right there in the passing lane. Oh, he probably still should have caught that one. He's going to want that one back.
Well, Shannon's got plenty of arm strength. Maybe a foot farther, and that's a catch, and Boucher is celebrating the end zone. 2nd down and 15 yards to go. 4:37 to go in the first half. Shannon will get rid of it to Carson Branch. A flag is down in the area of holding. Dylan Boucher is imploring to the official that it's not on him. He might have got caught holding.
Yep, I believe he did.
Oh,
I don't know if I've seen an implosion like this in a quarter.
right. Less than a quarter.
And they are still leading this ball game. There it is, like you said, the hold.
Hey, I got reports that people are throwing Gatorade. If you were caught throwing anything, you would be kicked out of the dog pound. We don't like throwing things up.
No, we do not. 2nd down and 20
Let's go.
after the penalty. We'll try and start the second half with a penalty tracker. Certainly quite a few for North. I mean, my guess is at least a dozen. At least 9 or 10, I'd say, to be conservative. Shannon scoots out of bounds. What's amazing is that the Huskies, when they're not making the mistakes, they look like a very talented football team. Plenty of athletes out there.
It's just the discipline that they've got to maintain. Got to maintain composure.
Lucky for them, they've got another couple months to get it right.
Like you said, we knew stuff like this would happen. You're playing against a young team. You got to be a little tough, but you also got to be able to control that toughness and that meanness.
Got to be sincere. Third down, Shannon's going to run it, and he's got plenty of room.
And there's
flag is down, so they're going to run this one all the way back.
Yeah, there's another hold there. Another unnecessary hold.
Yeah, we'll get you that penalty tracker at the half. And Shannon is in disbelief.
Yeah, there was only one white uniform in the middle of all that blue. And somebody from North just held on just a little too long.
I think it's safe to say the Rams might have more penalty yards for them than yards for them.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's check out that play again.
You see on the
Was
replay,
it egregious? You see in the backfield where they threw it, that might have been Jacob Arellano, their guard. I got to be honest, Jeff Gorham, I looked at it. I don't think it's worth throwing. But, you know, these officials know more than me, so that's why I'm up here and not down there.
That's why they get paid the big bucks.
Big bucks. Third down and a country mile. Low snap. Shannon under duress immediately avoids a safety. Fires a comeback, and that is right in the hands of Dylan Boucher. Did they give him the catch? They did, but he's well short of the first down. Gain of 14 to Boucher.
So if you're North, you just want to get out of here without giving up another score.
Great job from Shannon to evade the pressure from Gavin McGowan, who's been close to a sack a few times tonight.
Yeah, and he took a bad snap and was able to recover that one. So 4th and 7, they're going to go for it. No, of course not. I didn't see the kicker back there. But this could be a big play. This could be a huge play for Ramona.
Knuckleball on the snap. Valenzuela looks like he's going to let that one go. And that's a brilliant punt. So that goes down as a 42-yard punt with nothing on the return. Ramona has a chance, Jeff Gorham, to take the lead going into the half.
And if you're Coach Mush, he's going to pull his guys aside and say, guys, we're in this. Let's be smart. Let's don't turn it over and give it to North right now. Let's try to play our style of football. Let's get the ball in the flat, create some space. I'm telling you, though, if you're listening, Coach Mush, run a little post pattern. Let's see that second. I want to see the middle of the field get taken care of here.
Someone, let him know.
Let's open up that sideline.
North is going to counter with a typical nickel package. They'll go jet sweep with Antonio Lerma. He turns the corner and gains 4. In the limited opportunities, we've seen Rams senior Jeremiah Acosta win the job as quarterback for Ramona. And while he hasn't been the story tonight, he's done a very good job avoiding the turnover, doing a good job on those critical third downs.
Yeah, he's not trying to, hit the home run. He's playing smart football, as he should.
Yeah, Tolbert crawls ahead near the marker, but he's about a yard short. And Ramona showing a bit of hustle here with 2 minutes to go in the half. Nick Rice, Jeff Gorham, game 1 of the year. It's 20-14. We might have ourselves a good one with Ramona coming back the way they have tonight. Acosta, hands off. Tolbert into a wall. That might have been short. Nope, they'll give him forward progress. First down and a gain of about a yard and a half.
A little 2-minute drill here from Ramona. They're waiting to hear. Let's set the ball up and go.
Ramona with Bo Bruins, a run-first football team last year. Tolberton now. And the junior running back with just 5 carries last year has had more than that just in the first half tonight. Acosta, a bit underthrown, plenty of coverage or contact. Pitch was on the coverage, no flag is thrown. And that, as you can see, number 18, Jordan Nance, was a play he'd love to have. The ball right off his hands and what could have been an interception.
So Ramona goes for try to take the top of the football off.
Man, check out that arm.
One top of my head like sisters. One top of my head like...
Offensive, they're going to call this on North.
You know, I'm going to need to brush up on my rule book for refereeing. I've seen every call in the book tonight, that's for sure.
And some you've never seen.
Oh, yeah. Well, my first line of business is to watch Waterboy for Dylan Boucher. But after that, I'll brush up on the...
I am very, very concerned you've never seen
very
Waterboy.
concerned.
Or Ace Ventura. You don't even know what Ace Ventura is?
Well, you know...
Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, totally.
Oh, great pass.
Middle screen. Beauty. Mendoza taken down by Austin Dixon. The clock continues to run. Ramona down by 6, has 2 timeouts and a little over a minute to play in the first half.
For Ramona, just play your style of football.
We'll have that penalty counter as promised going into the second half on both sides. Acosta, this one inbounds. The Bracamonte scored the game, or Ramona's first points. Another first down pickup. Bracamonte gains 12. Ramona took about a quarter, but that offense looks much more comfortable now. Huskies reeling at the 25-yard line. It took a while. Then North calls its final timeout with 52 seconds to go in the first half.
It's a timeout, so shout out. Go, Huskies, go. It's a timeout, so shout out.
You know what is amazing to me? I don't think it's when you got a Bo Bruins in your lineup. It's when you have to replace 27 seniors. I'm more impressed now than in any year. Now, granted, we're in one half of one game this season, but Ken Mushinski, I knew he was a great coach, but, man, this is some work for him. You could see one sideline really starting to get frustrated, but Mushinski's got all these young guys playing very well.
Well, Mosh is one of those guys. I mean, he's really brought culture to this program. It's a complete buy-in.
And, you know, he could get frustrated. Last year, some of his top players got injured, of course, right when the playoffs got started. This year, healthy and ready to roll. Acosta under pressure. A flag is down as he takes off at the 20 and runs out of bounds. The flag in the area of holding with 42 seconds left in the half.
There's another penalty. Let's see who it's against. It's going to be against the Rams. So that's going to come back.
Well, it did feel like there was a lot of room out there.
Back 'em up, 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 back 'em up. Hey, good job, defense!
You know what's cool is that I'm not necessarily from the city of Riverside, but every time I come here to watch high school football, there's just an extra level of energy for the schools in this city. And it's pretty incredible, the culture here in the city, to watch their Tigers play and all of their high school programs here in Riverside. You know, where I'm at, they only have stands on one side, not on both sides. There's got to be at least 3,000 here tonight. Pretty cool. Acosta throws towards the end zone and overshoots Antonio Lerma, incomplete.
So a couple more plays here for the Rams to try to put it in the end zone. I don't know. I'm not too sure about these all-white uniforms.
What?
I don't know. They look like
You said these were the best uniforms ever to begin
no. The
game.
helmets are good. They look like they're nurses.
Oh.
They look like they're nurses though. With all white.
All white.
All white. I don't know. I like the rain cross and the ram on the leg. I'm just not too sure.
You know, you won 10 games each of the last 3 full seasons. You made it to the playoffs. What more do you need? Okay?
They have a jersey for every game probably.
I bet they do. Valenzuela wrestled down inside of the 25, and he has some choice words for the tackler, Makai Hill. Ramona might have burned another timeout, and they do. 17 seconds left. And that is their second to last. Jake Valenzuela. He can take the top off of defense, but he finds the zone in the middle and picks up good yardage. And that'll give us an opportunity to figure out if they're going to bring out their kicking unit.
Come on, they're going for it. I got another play here.
Not now, but, you know.
Mush? I
Oh,
say
yeah.
Mush goes for it.
I mean, certainly, well, I don't know.
If you can get
I'm pretty
three out of
sure
it.
pretty sure there's no Chavez on their sideline, but, you know,
Chavez.
someone like him.
Yeah, Kellen McAllister. He's
Kellen McAllister.
You remember his brother, Kevin. Remember Kevin McAllister?
Oh, yeah.
You don't even know who I'm talking about, do you?
Isn't he like a mayor or something?
He's the kid in Home Alone, for gosh sake.
Oh, shoot, that's right. Acosta loses the football with a flag down 2. It's picked up by the Huskies. Danye Trammell.
So that's what you didn't want to happen if you're the Rams. The only good thing about that fumble is he threw it about 8 yards forward. So it's better worse field position for the Huskies. That's just another. He went in and raked it and took it.
Andrew Mosqueda, he's the guy raking fumbles through his years at the JW North. 4 forced fumbles last year, and he begins the year with another one.
High school sports are one of the things that make living in California so great.
But sometimes the behavior in the stands can overshadow our achievements on the field.
I love it when my parents show up for me.
But being booed for missing a play could be crushing.
And remember that refs are people too.
They're trying their best to call a fair and correct game.
Hey, and enough with all the swearing.
No one should feel insulted or ashamed
because of their race, ethnicity, or gender.
We should be able to hold our heads high after the match, win or lose.
Live local. Help support your favorite businesses with the Shop Riverside Community Card. With over 200 Riverside businesses giving exclusive discounts and offers to community card holders, there's something for everyone. Participating organizations sell these cards for only $15 each, with $10 going straight back to the organization itself, making the Shop Riverside Community Card a fantastic way to support your favorite local group. For more information about the Shop Riverside Community Card and to find participating businesses, please visit shopriversidenow.com. And don't forget to live local. Shop Riverside. Live local. Help support your favorite businesses with the Shop Riverside Community Card. With over 200 Riverside businesses giving exclusive discounts and offers to community card holders, there's something for everyone. Participating organizations sell these cards for only $15 each, with $10 going straight back to the organization itself, making the Shop Riverside Community Card a fantastic way to support your favorite local group. For more information about the Shop Riverside Community Card and to find participating businesses, please visit shopriversidenow.com. And don't forget to live local. Shop Riverside.
I'm Cheech Marin, and we're inviting you to reserve your spot for the inaugural showing of Cheech Collects. So get your tickets today. We're looking for you.
Well, it all started basically with my son, Joshua Unger. He's severely autistic. He was aging out of the school district, and this was about when he was around 18, but the school district keeps you till you're 22. We're sitting at home one day and we're talking about, well, what are we going to do once he actually is out of the school district? And we thought about it really hard, and at that time we were doing some backyard gardening. And my son was very responsive to it. He enjoyed going out and planting the seeds and being in the soil and, harvesting the lettuce and going and, getting the carrots and the onions, and, he likes to cook too. And we thought, well, hey, what if we actually had some property to where we could have like a small farm that sells vegetables, and we can make a program where we can bring in others, a work program for people with these different disabilities. Ultimately, what we decided to do was just start looking in the Inland Empire area for a piece of property that would work for that. And, we found the Greenbelt. We try to implement as much organic material in the soil as possible. We're not using any pesticides or herbicides. We, have barn owl boxes. We have little birds' nests that we're planting so that they'll eat some of the bugs, and we also encourage predator bugs, like ladybugs. Our operation is at that point where we're turning a corner. With the high tunnels going up, we're going to be planting tomatoes in there. There's a lot of little things to maintain with tomatoes. We're kind of transitioning from a point where we were just focused on this small little corner of the property, kind of educating me. And then now that we have some systems in place that I feel are successful, we're going to expand that across the center part of the farm here, and we're going to be putting in a little farm stand that we can sell some of these vegetables with, and that will provide additional tasks for the workers with disabilities to fulfill. One of the ways that we reach out to people is on Facebook, and it's Gable Farms. Just Gable Farms, and you can search it in Riverside, and that's an easy way to find us.
It was a Saturday morning, and Dawn got up and ran a couple of errands.
I was working at the Victoria Club with a charitable foundation, and at 12 I was leaving the venue to go home and get ready for the party later.
And then our painter, who was going to do some roofing repairs, came by and saw Dawn collapse in the front yard. I grabbed the phone and dialed 911.
I saw a woman hunched over a man laying on the grass in the front yard.
I gave him 2 breaths, and then I thought, that's not enough.
So I parked my car where I was, and I ran across the street.
And at that moment, this dark-haired woman came running up.
And I identified myself to the woman and young man that was there, that I was a nurse and that I could help.
I felt tremendous relief when she came running up, and she knelt down immediately on the other side of Dawn, and I stepped back and she took over. I remember hearing the fire trucks and the ambulance coming. They gave him some injections, gave him the paddles. They loaded him in the ambulance with the 2 firefighters, and Sherry disappeared. It made me wonder, did I imagine her?
I saw what the paramedics had done while they were here, and the condition that he was in when he was taken into the ambulance. I didn't think it was very likely that he had survived.
Well, it was pretty unbelievable. I didn't even know there were strangers like that. We called her an angel because she appeared and she disappeared.
That time gap that she was able to fill, that was very, very instrumental. We probably wouldn't have it without that.
Bystander CPR is just critically important to improving the potential outcome to any cardiac arrest. There's a short period of time between when the 911 call takes place to when we arrive on scene. And having Sherry there that day was just a real big help and really helped contribute to the positive outcome in this incident.
You know, I'm grateful to know that there is something that we can do, even if it's just with our 2 hands in a situation, and that if we have the willingness to stop and to render the aid that we can, that anything's possible.
Now that it's over with, there's family, there's friends, acquaintances, grandchildren that I would have missed them growing up. So there's so much to be grateful for. I will say that I'm not only grateful for Sherry and her quick action, but the entire action of the team, the firefighters that came, the first responders that were here that took over for Sherry. I'll forever be grateful for their response.
High school sports are one of the things that make living in California so great.
Athletics builds character, teamwork, physical fitness,
and shows what hard work can achieve.
And some of us can even earn a college scholarship or qualify for the Olympics.
But sometimes the behavior in the stands can overshadow our achievements on the field.
I love it when my parents show up for me.
But being booed for missing a play can be crushing.
Parents who lose their minds when we don't score aren't helping.
It can actually be super distracting. We should be able to hold our heads high after the match, win or lose.
And remember that refs are people too.
They're trying their best to call a fair and correct game.
Even if you may not love the call.
Seeing and hearing people, belligerently be mean to you, it makes you not want to play anymore. It makes you just want to go sit on the sidelines and cry. Like, it's not fun.
No one should feel insulted or ashamed
because of their race, ethnicity, or gender.
Hey, and enough with all the swearing.
Anger has no place here.
Thank you for being part of the change, and thank you for being there to lift us up.
My daughter had an issue at school where another student on her campus, specifically in her class, said some derogatory things about people of color, specifically black people. Although Riverside is a great place to live, it has shadows and it has corners where hate lives. As a result of that, my daughter was hurt that day, and we needed to put a voice to it. A friend of mine, she reached out to me and she said, Rochelle, I can't sit by and know that this happened to Edison and not do something.
We had a conversation about the racism that her daughter Edison had experienced at her school and how that felt to her. We felt like we needed to do something and to say something. And so we talked about the representation of Black figures in Riverside and how there was a lack of representation. We talked about inclusion and respect and what that looked like. And we talked about creating an art piece.
It was after the murals that we had up on the Fox Performing Arts Center, as well as the John Lewis mural at the Civil Rights Institute. And so when this concept came to us at the City of Riverside, it felt a way that we could support our artist community, because we are the City of Arts and Innovation, but it was also in an easy, beautiful way, a statement that we promote, we respect, and we want diversity, equity, and inclusion in all things we do.
I myself am a mosaic artist, and so I talked to Rochelle about the possibility of us creating an art piece, and she loved that idea. And soon Shay Tracy, who is also an educator, so we are three teachers. We started out on this endeavor to create this piece together and enlisted 14 artists to create the piece that you see here today.
As at that time, there was so much happening in the culture, in the world, surrounding Black Lives Matter, and some of the protests in terms of the police brutality that was happening, that I just felt I needed to do something as a mom of two boys. Each individual person, they worked on their own sketch of the artist, and they put the tiles together at their own home studio, and then towards the end, we collected the materials in waves, and then we kind of just put it all together a few weeks before the reveal. I want them to feel the love and intentionality that we put into the mural. I want it to awaken a curiosity about all of the people who we included in the mural, and to just get people to understand and to have more interest in Black history and in these contributing members.
As the City of Arts and Innovation, this was a really beautiful step towards including art pieces that are public and that are representative of everyone.
For the community, I hope that it shows that in being authentic and real and transparent and sharing our stories, great things can come out of it.
Live local. Help support your favorite businesses with the Shop Riverside Community Card. With over 200 Riverside businesses giving exclusive discounts and offers to community card holders, there's something for everyone. Participating organizations sell these cards for only $15 each, with $10 going straight back to the organization itself, making the Shop Riverside Community Card a fantastic way to support your favorite local group. For more information about the Shop Riverside Community Card and to find participating businesses, please visit shopriversidenow.com. And don't forget to live local. Shop Riverside.
Welcome to In the Vault, a program of the Museum of Riverside. Today I'm going to share a little bit about the museum's herbarium, which is a collection of plant specimens, and a herbarium can be either dry or wet specimens, but mostly dry specimens, and that's what we have quite a bit of. It began with the early curator of botanic collections, Edmund Yeager, who started collecting specimens in the Riverside and San Bernardino area in the 1920s. Many of these specimens that he collected eventually wound up in our collection, but the real turning point was in 1949 when Charles and Wilhelmina Clark donated their collection, the Clark Herbarium, along with an endowment for the care of the collection and for botanical programs. And we've pulled out today just a couple of specimens, just a few specimens from the Clark Herbarium that are examples of Nevins barberry, which is an endangered species in our area. And you actually can acquire cultivated specimens of this plant from nurseries, but in the few areas where it grows naturally, it's under threat and has been added to the endangered species list. Now, this is how dried herbarium specimens are stored and collected. A herbarium specimen is of little use to us unless it comes with its collection data. So all this information is here, collected on this certain date. And
we're at the half here on Riverside TV. Nick Rice, Jeff Gorham. JW North, courtesy of 3 total touchdowns from their star senior quarterback Cameron Shannon, lead the game 20-14. While that is the easy storyline for the Huskies on offense, Ramona figured out a way to get back into the game due to the penalties. It was a crushing second quarter for JW North with the turnovers and, of course, the penalties, and I have not seen a half like this in quite some time. Based on our calculations, the Huskies were flagged 18 times.
18 times, my golly.
For 184 yards, almost 2 full football fields. Ramona 5 times for 40. That's the story that's kept the Rams in the ball game, right there in the bottom ticker.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if you are Ramona, you've got to be happy that you're only down by 6. If you are John W. North, you have to be mad because you're only up 6. Yeah. Because you can't turn the ball over and you can't do goofy things. You can't have personal fouls. You can't have unsportsmanlike penalties. You just can't do that if you're going to be a good team. And I'm sure Coach Vaiapulu right now is telling his guys, we got to tighten up this ship. We cannot have another half like that, or they will. I guarantee they will not win a whole lot of games when you give up 184 yards because of mistakes.
Both coaches talked about their scrimmages being sloppy, but had mentioned, a lot of the area also, their football a little sloppy in the scrimmage, and unfortunately for them, more for the Huskies, but there's plenty of bulletin board material for Ramona too. This will not be a fun film session for either. The mistakes were critical for both.
Yeah, but I will say this. Let's go to the Ramona Rams first. Pretty good first half from a group of 18 new starters.
Yeah.
And you have a quarterback who has never played because you figure Nate Johnson played so much. You have Jeremiah Acosta, who
threw one pass last year.
Threw one pass last year, but he's had some good poise. And on the other side of the ball, you have Cam Shannon, who has been magnificent. I want to say the best player for North. He's played with composure. He's played within his element. It's the other players on his team that need to shore up those penalties and fix this ball game.
McAllister, the kickoff. And their star sophomore gets under with Bronson Hogue. He gets by the first defender and is pulled down to the 26. The Huskies have a chance to right that aforementioned ship. The Huskies averaged 21 points per game last year with Nathan Johnson at the controls and Venancio Micaele as their running back. New names in the fold, but still a very talented offense.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Coach O.P. Vaiapulu, like I said, he has guys. When you have 3 receivers, like Boucher, Butler, and Branch, and they have not been a factor because they've had too many darn penalties.
And one of those penalties, if we're not mistaken, cost one of their linemen, courtesy of ejection, the rest of this game tonight. It was a very eventful close to the second quarter. Glad you're with us on Riverside TV. Nick Rice, Jeff Gorham from JW North, 3rd in Chicago. Hogue gets outside, breaks a tackle, and has got one to beat. That's the Rams' Troy Long. and he was able to slow him down. The tackle inside of the 45. The sophomore was pretty good in the first half, jumps out in the second with a great play.
Yeah, and the Rams are expecting some big things from Troy Long. Coach Mashinsky mentioned him on the coach's perspective this week. He said, hey, he has come out of nowhere. And right there, he came out of nowhere to make that play and stop that touchdown.
One of the 4 sophomores starting for that defense tonight against J.W. North. A disastrous play for the Huskies. That'll lose about 4 yards on the play. Luis Mena, another sophomore, was one of the first there for Ramona.
And if you want to watch football after the game tomorrow night, we have a brand new show coming at you. We're going to make the debut of the Friday night pep rally with Pep Fernandez. We're going to recap all of Riverside scores and local scores. It'll be Pep's old show, but a new digs here in the city of Riverside.
Right. Shannon's got a man for the touchdown, and he missed him. That's the second time he has misfired to Carson Branch. One was an overthrow. That one's another bad throw.
He was too excited. He was too wide open, if you see here on the replay.
Great protection, too. Oh.
Yeah, Friday nights, tune in. Roughly about 10:30, we're going to have a show. It's going to be a variety show.
Oh, my goodness.
Song, dance.
We've got a penalty. Oh, man. Not that the pep rally isn't amazing, but my goodness.
Is that one more to add that to your list?
Let's do it. 15. That's 199 in penalties.
So,
jeez. And that's a personal foul type, too. It'll be my debut to watching the pep rally, too, so that'll be fun watch for sure. This would be a pretty incredible conversion for Shannon and company. Check down. Branch juggles it. He's run out of the 41-yard line. Not the 25 they needed, Jeff Gorham, just 4.
Hey, no penalties on that play.
Oh, man. Well, the officials are calling it tight. Good job by Royce Mendoza to close out the gap on Branch on that third down.
Remember, an hour and a half first half. And weather has been brutal. Got to keep an eye on these legs, make sure nobody gets hurt. Cramping up here.
I wonder why the University of Arizona plays outdoors. Like, why? I don't know.
Because they can't build a dome. What? They don't have that kind of money.
Bet they could figure out a way. Off the bounce to Jake Valenzuela. Flag in the area of holding. Rams had their fair share with 5 penalties for 40 yards in the first half.
And this will be 6 because this will be brought back. It'll be a hold as well.
Well, they're not singling out any one team, so they're calling it fair across the board for sure. Glad you're with us tonight. Game 1 of the high school football season.
We're going to have 20-plus games again this year.
Amazing stuff from our award-winning crew.
I called 24 games last year.
How did you not have, like, your throat, just kind of, I don't know, your voice box ripped out or something?
Because during the day, I don't talk.
You don't talk at all?
I drink nothing but tea and lemon.
Yeah, I have a feeling that you talk plenty during the day, too.
I do.
You're like a celebrity in these parts, Jeff Gorham.
Yes, I am.
Like the mayor or something like that.
Hey.
I think somebody called you that one time.
I'm the vice president.
The vice president? Okay.
Did you know? Oh, now, see, no.
Now you're getting a little.
I am the vice president of the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame.
Oh, you know what? You might be right on that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, Nick Rice, from now on, when you work with me, you must address me as
okay. You
Mr.
know what?
Vice President.
Let me check in my contract. I don't think that's necessary.
It is.
What in the world? Is there penalties on both teams? Woof. Vice President Jeff Gorham.
Yes,
I don't think I'll ever be able to get to that.
You got to believe it. It's true.
Sometimes when we're working together, some people are like, "Is that your dad?" And I'm like, "Look, man, he's a foot taller than me. Are you sure about that?"
Oh, your dad. Is that guy your dad?
Yeah, for sure. People say.
Sorry, I took my wife to the grocery store once, and somebody said, and one of the guys said, boy, you bring your dad to the grocery store. And she said, that's my husband.
Oh, my gosh.
And I said, and so I looked at the guy and said, you know what? You and I are going to go outside.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I don't fight old men.
Oh, wow.
No, true story. They said that.
That's a touche moment for sure.
I was so mad.
Looks like you're not going back to that grocery store.
I had him fired.
You had him. A gain of 6 on the check down. Am I okay, or am I on the...
Are you okay? No, you're never okay.
Oh, shoot.
Heck, Rice, it's going to be another year of trivia for you. I found out tonight you've never seen the Water Boy or...
And I still don't know who the 19th president is of the United States, or whatever that was.
Knew none of them.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Millard Fillmore.
Serious? Wow. It's almost as if you're a teacher. A gain of about 4 on the inside run. For those of you just joining us, JW North jumped in front with their star quarterback Cameron Shannon. 2 touchdown passes, and to boot, a second quarter 52-yard touchdown catch as Anthony Zavala, the wide receiver, tossed it to him. But Ramona's comeback penalties helped, and a turnover too, but it's been a steady effort from their quarterback, Jeremiah Costa. And it's amazing to think the Rams could take the lead. They had a chance to close the first half, but a brutal Acosta fumble ripped away by Andrew Mosqueda ended that promising drive. Who was that, a 19th president?
Let's take a look. Rutherford B. Hayes. B. Hayes.
I've never heard of that.
How are you? You didn't even know him beat last year.
That's right. A gain of 9 on the inside run. But I did figure out who Ken is now. That's a...
What are you talking about? Who's
Barbie.
Ken? What? I mean, what, you just threw out Ken. I mean, the non sequitur. Hey, I knew who Ken is. Did you see the Barbie movie?
Oh, yeah. Saw parts of it. You know, they have pirated movies out now. Acosta to Valenzuela. Not a bad idea to target him, but North, you know, that's the defensive coordinator mind of Vaipulu. They've figured out a way to shut him out in the last quarter.
As they walk back here. So you've never seen The Water Boy. You've never seen Ace Ventura, but you saw the Barbie movie.
Yeah, how weird is that? Well, I wanted to be on the up and up of new stuff around here. You know me. I want to stay cultured and aware.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have admitted I ever saw the Barbie movie. No joke. I mean, I see movies.
It's kind of like people who say they don't go to McDonald's. It's like, well, they sell 1 million burgers a day. Somebody must have seen it.
Everybody goes to McDonald's.
And people say, I don't watch Barbie. Come on. It's like, really?
I don't watch Barbie.
I didn't see Oppenheimer, though, so I got 1 out of them.
So you saw the...
I'm sure you're a history buff, so I'm sure that's on your list, Jeff Gorham, right?
I saw Oppenheimer.
Oh, you did? High snap, jet
Great
sweep, and that's
play.
a nightmare. Anthony Zavala spilled back there by Anderson Gomez, number 90.
And that was a huge play. Like you said, there were 7 in the box. You saw they were going to send the 8th, and great play, great read. To midfield, I'm guessing they're going to go for it.
Anthony Zavala, Carson Branch, and Dylan Boucher, the 3 receivers to the top of your screen. Damian Mendoza to the bottom. 4th down and 9. And they're definitely going to go for it. Shannon loses the football, epitomizing a brutal second half for the Huskies. It doesn't matter who scooped it up. It's Ramona ball, but just to cap off the play, Luis Mena scoops it up for the Rams.
And North just looks out of sorts. I mean, they have not really had any rhythm generated on offense here since the first quarter.
Now that's a miscommunication. Both guys thought they would have the ball. And Calvin Rivers, if I'm not mistaken, that was his first snap at running back, and he was in on a 4th and 9. Tough break, and the Rams have a chance to add to their lead. 3:30 left in the third. First game of the year for both. Ramona, reigning River Valley League champs at 10-2 overall. Rams made it yet again to the quarterfinals, losing a tough one to Calabasas last year. But it was their second straight trip under Ken Mushinski to the quarterfinals. Their third in 4 years. They lost in the CIF championship game back in 2019. Incredible resolve for this young football team. Acosta finds a wide open Valenzuela. No one in the screen. Touchdown as he burns Jaden Pitts. Incredible second half comeback for the Ramona Rams.
Wow, that looked like the Ramona Rams of old. Johnson to Bruins.
That's right.
But not anymore. It's Acosta to Valenzuela.
8 touchdowns last year for Valenzuela. He just has a knack for breaking the top off of a defense. Pitts was the closest there, but it could have been a couple of guys that got turned around on that play. A touchdown for Valenzuela. Let's check out that play again. Acosta with a beautiful throw. And he tossed that one on the move, too.
He threw that off his left foot on the run. What a perfect pass.
And it doesn't miss me that just last series, Shannon missed a touchdown to Branch, who was equally as open. And while the Husky quarterback missed it, the Ram quarterback did not miss that throw. And Ramona's up by 8 with 3:21 to go in the third. With about 8 minutes to go in the first half, the JW North Huskies were up 20-0 in this one. Incredible comeback by Ken Mushinski and the Rams. While he had plenty of changes this offseason, I'd like to know if this is his best comeback in a game in his Ramona career. It certainly is right up there as one of the best. Incredible rally for them. Off the bounce, Hogue at the 7-yard line. With a block to the 20 and taken down to the 25 by the Rams' Gabriel Serrato, number 23.
Gabe Serrato's sturdy fellow right there.
5'7", 200 pounds.
Beast.
An excellent job on special teams. First down at the 25-yard line. It's been a rough performance for the offense, but JW North has done a good job avoiding the turnovers, and they do have some firework plays. It seems every sort of promising drive, their own mistakes have cost them. See if they can bounce back here. Late in the third, still a one-score game. The wind is picking up a little bit here, going right to left of the offense at the 25-yard line. Hogue is taken down quickly. An excellent play by the linebacker. Troy Long, another play up front for the sophomore. 5'10", 175. He's got a nose for the running back.
There's one of those 4 sophomores on that defense that have really, really sparked the Rams tonight.
He learned for the 2-time team leader in tackles, Desmond Watkins, at linebacker. Incredible talent gone from last year, but Troy Long has filled his shoes nicely tonight. Second down and 9 for North. Shannon guns it outside to number 14, Ani Kane.
And he loses the football right before he got out of bounds.
They're going to call that incomplete. Looks like they will.
He was running with the football before he actually had it in his hands. And now get right away. Look at the replay here. It's one of those things you got to catch the ball first. He saw a lot of green.
Oh, that would have been his first catch of the half and his second tonight. We haven't seen much in the second half of Bronson Hogue as they've fallen behind and been in pass situations most of the third. Shannon, pressured by Gomez, hit as he throws, over the middle to a diving Anthony Zavala, and it looks like he got it to the 45-yard line.
Great catch.
Those two combined for the Huskies' last touchdown. Zavala to Shannon. This time Shannon to Zavala, and a gain of 14. Some play. Oof.
Right between two defenders. Threaded that needle perfect.
A must-have drive for the Huskies, who've been shut out for over a quarter. Shannon scans the field, steps up and launches deep. Butler. He makes a terrific catch, and they say that's Branch inbounds at the 10-yard line. Make it the 9, a gain of 36.
Wow, great catch here. Let's see if he's in bounds. That's the big key here. Refs didn't see it. Let's see.
Mendoza was that close. With
Great
an extra
catch.
foot to spare. Great
job.
catch.
Great catch.
They connect on the deep ball here on a critical third-quarter drive. A touchdown and two-pointer could tie it at 28. First down and goal to go at the 9-yard line. Shannon with the pass rush coming. Dances, looks, directs traffic, and throws into the end zone. Touchdown, Carson Branch.
And another penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. It'll go against North. There's a lot of talking there. I think. And unsportsmanlike conduct on North, so that'll be 15.
I'm running out of ink, Jeff Gorham.
We'll go down and get you some paint.
Yeah, 21 penalties for 224 yards.
Oh, so they're going to take this on the...
Not a bad idea for Mashinsky to think, okay, this will deter you from a two-pointer.
Yes, exactly. Good call.
So Alana Vaipulu appears to be their short-range kicker. They bring in Emmanuel Guzman Velasquez, the kickoff man, for the long kick.
Well, he's got a long last name. He's got 3 names.
Yeah, so you think.
He's got to be the long guy.
This one from 36. Long run up, and the kick is wide right. 28-26, 146 to go in the third. The Huskies did not tie the game, but they did show resolve going the distance. Shannon to Branch to cap off an excellent touchdown drive. Well, J.W. North has their fair share of returning receivers. Dylan Boucher, Brian Butler, and Anthony Zavala. What a fantastic game. In fact, the breakout star for them has to be Carson Branch for his excellent plays at wide receiver tonight. Just 7 catches last year. I got to say, about 7 tonight for Branch, including the touchdown. With 1:46 to go in the third quarter, we've got a 2-point ball game. Last year's game was a classic, won by Ramona 35-25 at home last year. Admittedly, it took J.W. North a little while to get accustomed to the energy. The Huskies might have needed that defensive stand to get back into it on offense. And we'll see if that touchdown sparks the rest of the football team in the game's final quarter.
And we do have a score update as the Arlington Lions are at Western Christian, down 23-17 in the fourth quarter.
Mesa and Tolbert, the 2 return men, but none of them will get a chance. The Upmans reeled it in, and Perez stumbles to about the 37-yard line, setting up a short field. It seems as though they're doing that more and more now, having high school games on Thursday and Friday, and sprinkling in a little Saturday action, too.
They have
in the
to.
CIF.
There aren't enough referees. So if you want to ref, you know, go down. I don't know where you do it. Go online.
Right.
Become
Craigslist.
a referee.
Yeah.
We need you.
Not me, though. Not me. No. Check down to Antonio Lerma, and with a flag down, Lerma gains 32, but that might be a hold to bring it back.
Yep, that's coming back. Look at that. Look at that.
It's still yellow. I'm amazed. Shouldn't it be green and black?
No, first game, buddy. First game. Oh, from today, yeah. Getting thrown around.
Yeah, a little bit of a
holding penalty. Let's see where we see that. That was right back there. Yeah. No, personal foul, face mask on Ramona.
Did you see that on our great replay?
I did not see that.
Rams have come back down by 20, scoring 28 unanswered. Rams with the lead and the football. Valenzuela, the motion man. Here's the run. Tolbert outside. Doesn't get by. An excellent dive from Jaden Pitts, the junior cornerback. Excellent job against the run. We've seen him hurt earlier in the game. Matt Wilson of Ramona. He was dealing with a lower leg injury in the first half, and it looks like the injury got him here in the third quarter. And with that, we'll take a quick injury break. Let's look at that play again. He stands at left tackle, pulling to the right. Looked like he was hurt pretty quickly on that play. Yes, he must have got his foot caught in the turf or something.
Okay, so tomorrow night, everybody needs to tune in immediately after our big game between Poly and Hillcrest as Pep Fernandez is debuting his new show on Friday nights called the Friday Night Pep Rally.
He's debuting it on Riverside TV.
He has been doing it for decades
and
decades and decades, but we've taken this show and we're taking it to a whole new level. We're going to have the Coach's Corner there. We're going to have highlights and scores from all of the great high school games locally. Got all of the video from Riverside schools, so check us out about 30 minutes after our game on Friday night tomorrow.
So we're talking about basically the Inland Empire. Pep Fernandez is going to talk about all those schools.
All the Inland Empire and schools, but we are going to have all the video from the Riverside schools. And right now, Arlington has tied it up with Western Christian. They're tied at 23.
It's the first night of high school football, and you just kind of get that feeling in the air, and it's been certainly
giddy
entertaining.
all day.
Yep, but you remember that it takes a while for these guys to get into form. A pump and go. Valenzuela's got a step, and he must have just not expected that type of throw. They ran a hitch and go on the outside. Valenzuela a bit frustrated. It's not too often they're not on the same page.
He got a hand on it. A bit out of it, but a good throw.
Pumped the hitch and then launched the long ball, but it looked like he kind of slowed up on that play. There's the angle from our great sideline camera guy, Trevor.
Yeah, I was worried about him. He got hurt earlier. He got tackled. But he's a gamer.
Right. So we just saw Matt Wilson leave the game with the injury. He's still out there and being tended to on the sideline. We're hoping for a speedy recovery for the Rams tackle. 3rd and 11. Acosta looks deep. Under duress, he's taken down. Andrew Mosqueda has been everywhere defensively tonight, and the senior's got a sack.
Mosqueda, just all he needed is a hand on him. And the hand strength of Mosqueda brings down Acosta. Just one hand. Watch, grabs him.
Oh, man, what a play.
One-handed.
J.W. North, plenty of sacks last year. Their first of Acosta, the slippery 5'5" quarterback tonight. 4th and forever, and the punt team checked in. But first, we've reached the end of 3. A quarter to go, 28-26. Nick Rice, Jeff Gorham. First night of high school football on Riverside TV. As mentioned, Hillcrest and Pauley play tomorrow in what they call Week 0, which still is beyond me. It's the first week.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing ever. I've always said Week 0 is goofy.
Goofy
stuff. We're coming up on 10 o'clock here on a Thursday night. We got a long day ahead of us tomorrow. We got to get back at it. But like I said,
go ahead.
We're going to have, like I said, over 20-plus high school and college games. I want to say this, and I'm not going out on a ledge here. I really do think that the city of Riverside has the best high school football sports coverage of anybody in the entire Southern California.
I second you on that opinion. We got all of it covered in the city of Riverside.
In fact, we have everybody. We have photographers out at these other games getting video. We're going to have a great show tomorrow night. And nobody does it. Nobody does it.
Oh, it's a muff punt from Branch. Are you serious? It looked like he didn't think that the ball was live. That is just a mental error from Branch.
And another error by the Huskies. I mean, that's one, even if you call a fair catch, you can't drop it.
Yeah, Branch muffed a punt earlier in the game, but fortunately for him, it was recovered. This time, I've never seen this. I mean, it looks like he didn't even try. That's a tough break. Ramona's got the ball back to begin the fourth quarter. And you know, to second your point on the Riverside coverage, I don't think anyone out there is doing a fan-voted game of the week.
No.
You guys choose what game you want to watch. Other guys will tell you what game you're going to watch, not us. Valenzuela slips a tackle, foot race to the end zone. It's the 10, the 5, and Jake Valenzuela celebrating. The Rams have taken full control of this one. Touchdown, Ramona.
Wow. Just wow.
You know, J.W. North was a team last year and the year before where their second half execution would demoralize you. They wouldn't just beat you, they would demoralize you. To see this to begin the year is a little disheartening. Credit Ramona for their performance, but it's the preseason, so it doesn't count for your league record. Kick is good. This is frustrating for the Huskies.
Yeah, but if you are Ramona and you are Ken Mashinsky
Here's how it started.
and company, you've got to be happy. I mean, you had 18 new starters, 27 new players to fill those spots of seniors, and they've come out with poise and pretty much grace. I know it's a soft word to use for football, but, man, they have shown resiliency from a young core group.
And this will get the guys feeling like they can do anything. I mean, Patrick Mahomes did this during that Super Bowl run. He'd be down by 30 and come back and win. And when you do that, you feel like you could do anything. I think. I mean, I'm not a chief.
Well,
I'm not a guy on that sideline.
If you are Ramona and you have 11:41 left to go here, and you lead by 9, you got to be feeling pretty good here.
Yeah. But again, it's preseason, so for Ramona, who won their league, for J.W. North, who were runners-up in the Ivy League and made the postseason yet again, this isn't where you have to win. It'd be nice to win, but what you want to see is guys develop and get accustomed to a playoff atmosphere.
Home alone, Kellen McAllister. Good kick there.
A 54-yard kickoff, Branch to the 23-yard line with 11:36 to play. We haven't seen much of Bronson Hogan the second half, their sophomore running back. I'd say maybe an opportunity for him to get a little more involved. That was when they jumped out to the 20-0 lead, when they mixed up the run from that sophomore.
Yeah, if you're North, you got to kind of be in a hurry-up offense here. Got to generate some points, but you got to play with composure. Let's see if they can do that. A lot of time left in this ball game. Remember, Ramona was down 20-0 and put up 35.
Remember, yeah, Ramona's the team that has the one road game this year, just the one, where they leave Riverside. So this will be fun this year for Ramona. They play some tough schools. Shannon sacked Gavin McGowan, one of the first there, as he's celebrating. But this team, it will be interesting. You know, like those road trips kind of help you test you for the playoffs, and you're going to have to hit the road at some point because they have that coin flip system, right? If you play one game at home, you're going to have to go on the road the next week. So they've certainly answered the challenge tonight of winning here in Riverside. We'll see how they fare in a couple weeks in Palm Springs. Second down and 13. Branch wide open. One to beat at the 40. This could be a big one. Branch to midfield. Taken down to the 41, no flags down, an excellent pass from Shannon, too, a gain of 34.
And one of the few times we've seen him throw the ball in the middle of the field tonight. Everything's been outside. There's that secondary hole. Let's see if North can continue to poach that center.
They gave J.W. North 3 extra yards of field position. Running back screen. Hogue to the 30 with plenty of room. One to beat with a block at the 10. It's the sophomore all the way. 39 yards. Touchdown, Bronson Hogue. We've got a track meet from Riverside. First game of the year, and we've got 67 points on the board with 10:40 to play.
What, 3 plays there for the score? Not bad here.
The short 2-yard run to Hogue, the 34-yarder to Branch, the 39-yarder to Hogue again. They didn't go for 2 last time. It looks like they will this time. Interesting decision, down 3 late in the game. Shannon back to pass with a 4-man rush. Back of the end zone, it's a touchdown to Dylan Boucher, rather a 2-pointer to Boucher, that is. 1-point game with 10:40 left, and the Huskies, something happened in that fourth quarter. They have come alive on offense.
You know, and if you're Ramona, you got to think about fitness. It's got to. Everybody's legs right now are a little tired. You're in the fourth quarter. It's the first game. It's been 100,000 degrees outside. Let's see if
it still is.
Still super hot out here. Let's see if fitness comes into play here. Let's see if the young Ramona Rams can handle the fisticuffs from North right now, who just threw a haymaker. So King lost 42-7 to Roosevelt. Roosevelt with their new head coach, Chuck Chastain, who left from Norco to go on over to Roosevelt, takes a big win in his debut at Roosevelt.
We'll hear all about just how good he is and the school is with Pep Fernandez tomorrow.
We will.
I'd like to hear his breakdown of some of the schools.
Yeah, Jason McMain's taking a loss against one of those schools that used to be great in the Big 8. Now they're in that big super conference.
Want to know something interesting, Jeff Gorham? We got a flag down. I believe offsides would be 5 yards. I wonder why they got penalized 10. Didn't quite catch that with the official. 10-yard penalty on North. A chance to set up good field position for Ramona. Emmanuel Guzman Velasquez muffed at the 18. That was some special teams play. Mendoza just couldn't get his footing down on that one and was brought down by Coral Flowers on a short return. 10:33 left. For those of you just joining us, This is turning out to be some football game from Riverside. Last year's meeting was a thriller. This one might be even better.
Yeah, last year was, 35-25?
Yep, and it was a 3-point game with 2 minutes left. Rams scored a late one in garbage time. As the Huskies nearly mounted the 14-0 comeback in that one a year ago, Ramona fell behind by 20, has the lead and the football with under 11 left. Early movement up front, offsides on JW North. That is their 23rd penalty of the game. I'm serious, 23rd.
23rd.
Crazy.
900 yards.
Yeah, 900.
Over 200, though. We must
229.
Wow.
Crazy. Huskies on the blitz. Acosta slips through it anyways, and he's got the first down. In fact, to the head of steam. He was a arm tackle from Kalo Granger away from maybe even a touchdown. Certainly a bigger run than that.
Now, if you're Ramona, you got to realize it. Young guys, you got to be, I wouldn't say conservative, but somewhat conservative on your play call, and that's going to go against the Rams.
Oh, man. And that is their 9th penalty tonight.
As I was going to say, you can't make mistakes. And that was one right there that could really, really hurt them. Their backs are against the wall here.
We'll see JW North on Riverside TV next month with a home game against the Wolves of King High School, whom we just talked about, had their season opener tonight. Ramona plays at Pauley in less than a month. We'll have that game full broadcast right here on Riverside TV. Sincere Tolbert avenges the holding penalty yardage, gain of 7, and a first down on the screen pass.
Okay.
Oh, back. All right. Jeremiah Costa gains 6, maybe 7 on that quarterback run. 9.5 left in the ball game, 35-34. Nick Rice, Jeff Gorham. Glad you're with us. Game 1 of the high school football season. Reigning River Valley League champs, Ramona. And a barn burner against their inner city rival. Acosta hit as he throws. Valenzuela the first down. He has had an outstanding game tonight, Jeff Gorham. First down to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, it started off a little shaky with Valenzuela. A couple little flubs. Kind of getting the juices flowing. But he has played a phenomenal game. I mean, the entire Ramona team has.
His first catch ended with a fumble on the opening drive. Since then, he's been outstanding. First and 10 with under 9 left. Tolberts dances to the 44-yard line, a patient run. The Huskies' Andrew Mosqueda, who has had an outstanding game. He has really been a leader of this defense, the senior with the tackle. Already a sack tonight, a forced fumble, 2 tackles for loss. He's been everywhere. Check out number 51 on the defense. Boom, right there. Leveled him. Gain of 2.
Ramona, you're going to chew some clock, hopefully, get some first downs, and just protect the football.
Acosta a bit early to an open Valenzuela. Incomplete. It seems he's always open. He just figures out a way to find the space of the defense, especially when they don't double him.
Yeah, for Ramona, don't play too conservative. I mean, get after it. This is where this is the gut check, they say.
No. Kanye Trammell, spelled by Fernando Zavala at the middle linebacker spot. He's back in coverage on a 3rd down and long. Hit as he throws. Great coverage, and it's picked off by Zavala, who checked right into the game. His first snap on the drive is a huge interception with 8 to go.
And that's the quarterback issue. Acosta there, you watch him, he's under duress. Instead of just kind of throwing the ball out of bounds, throws it right down the middle. That's one you got to get rid of. He'll learn that with time.
Credit Kamar Branch to supply the pressure onto Jeremiah Acosta. A critical turnover, and just when you thought you had this game figured out, all of a sudden the Huskies are dug in here in the 4th quarter. A chance to reclaim the lead for Opalani Vaipulu, a team that certainly had played better than their 2nd quarter, but have bounced back in a big way. Shannon pumps, hit as he throws, check down to Branch at the 40, knocked down a yard short. Great coverage out there by senior Bodie Miller.
Yeah, you watch, he takes a shot. Watch here at the end. Shannon took a shot.
That is some big boy football for Shannon in his 2nd full year as starting quarterback with the team. Anthony Zavala, the backup. Most likely the day 1 starter next year at quarterback for the Huskies. Not a long run for Hogue, but he crawls ahead for the first down. Gavin McGowan, the 6'3 junior, with the tackle.
Yeah, McGowan, though, he wrapped him up in the chest. He might have saved that first down. But now they've got to play 3 more downs here and try to make a stop.
North squandered a 20-point lead in this one, but critical 4th quarter throws from Cameron Shannon. Last on a screen pass to Hogue for a touchdown, and he'll go for the lead right here. It is just a bit overthrown. That's been a common theme. It seems they just can't hook up on those long balls. Dylan Boucher, the intended target.
Yeah, that ball was nearly perfectly thrown. You can tell, though, his timing's getting a little better early in the game. That pass would have been 10 yards ahead, so he's figuring it out. Cam Shannon's not going to make too many more of those mistakes. You give him that room, he's going to make it count.
Well, on that play, he was pressured inside, so he had to throw off his back foot. Shannon rolls right, looking, throwing, out of bounds.
Good play there by Shannon. That's what Acosta needed to do in the last possession. You get on the outside, get outside of those pylons, throw it out of bounds.
And that's what a senior quarterback with over 250 throws would do in a situation like that. Heads up play for Shannon.
Heads up play from Trevor. Trevor almost caught the football.
He's got better hands than me on that sideline. That's for sure. 3rd down and 10.
And you were a Vista Marietta guy. Your guy Cody Candale's back.
It took him, he was the track guy and the football guy. By the way, that's amazing you know that. But, he took a long break. He guided the team in the early 2010s all the way to the CIF title. We had a couple of guys that made it to the NFL from that crew. In fact, a little bit later, one of the starting linebackers for the Chiefs went to Vista too. Not that information's all that useful here. Proud of my Broncos. Shannon takes off. He gets by Long, heads to the sideline. Smart move as he's out of bounds. 6:46 left in the ball game.
Hey, North might have 50 penalties for 900 yards.
Right.
But Cam Shannon has really shown why he's being recruited and has some offers out there. Great poise from, like you said, the senior.
You got to love the poise of a guy that down by double digits in a game they had, he never felt the need to press anything. Yes, he's missed some throws tonight, but the turnovers are huge. I mean, you could stay in a game if you just win the turnover battle. The two giveaways from the Huskies were fumbles from one out of the running back and the other out of the wide receiver.
Looks like the chains might have got busted or something. The stick.
It's funny. We're in 2023, the age of technology, and we've got archaic sticks and chains to help measure our football game.
Look at they're having some issues with the chains.
Looks like they're close to set at least. Hogue turns something out of nothing again. This is some athlete. My goodness, Hogue. One to beat for a touchdown, and he's out. This is incredible stuff. 17 yards for the sophomore. And this is why they talked about it coming in. He might end up being even better than the guy he's replacing. And that's saying something. Just to be in the conversation of Mika L.A. is pretty impressive. Check this out.
It's like John Riggins. Can't bring him down. Those of you who know who John Riggins is, you don't know who that is, do you? Running back,
Redskins.
Hey, look at you.
Was I supposed to say that? Was I supposed to say
job.
My man.
Good job.
Yeah. All right, I got one. I live. I'm here to live another day.
Woohoo.
You know, I appreciate your support, but man, how surprised you were got me a little sad.
I was excited there.
Hey, he got one right.
Gavin McGowan.
Well, hey, you promised trivia. We've got 5.5 minutes, 5:53.
Do you want to go down that rabbit hole? I don't think you do.
What am I doing?
Yeah, don't do that. Look at that. Broken arm and all.
Gavin McGowan.
Gavin McGowan, what are you? You're a beast. Look at that arm. That's a club.
That's a 7-yard loss on that play.
I'm going to sign his cast. If he can pull off the victory, I'll go down and take a Sharpie and sign that cast.
That's if Chavez didn't sign it already.
Look at that. He's got a broken arm. That's a grown man out there.
That missed extra point looming large for North. We're down by a point, are the Huskies. Shannon looks left, fires into the end zone. Just a bit over the outstretched arms of veteran Anthony Zavala. A better pass. Granted, it's a tight window, but we've got a touchdown on the boards here late. Let's check out this throw. Oh, well, you know, it also very well could have been caught.
That was a catchable ball. Third down, big play right here. And then it's going to come down to, as we've seen many times, it could come down to a field goal.
Right. And from here, they might not even try the field goal if they don't gain a yard. Hogue's in the block. Shannon shakes, throws into the end zone. Short to Branch. Incomplete pass in front of the Rams' Michael Perez. We've gotten a little bit of everything tonight out of the passing. Some great throws, some poised runs, and then a couple of plays he'd love to have back. We'll see if he can deliver here in the clutch. A bit too far for a field goal, so on 4th and goal at the 14-yard line, the Huskies, in what could be a last-ditch effort, considering how good the Rams have been on offense. Down by 1, we'll see what they can put together with about 5 minutes left. 4th and goal, down 1 late in the game. Shannon pumps, under duress, launches into the end zone, and that is tipped and incomplete. Intended for Boucher, and the Rams defense stymies the Huskies at the goal line.
The young sophomores from Ramona making the stand here.
I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better throw. Just great coverage from Ramona on that play. Let's check it out again.
I mean, this ball's catchable, I think, as well. Oh, his own guy hit it.
That was Damian Mendoza got in there too, but Boucher touched it first.
Wow. That's like a center fielder calling for it and having a right fielder come over and taking it.
it's moments like that where you're feeling, man, it just is not our night.
Still plenty of time here. I mean, a field goal could change things, but Ramona, if they can just hold the ball here for 4:56, Mashinsky's a pretty smart guy. I've seen him do it before, but North here's got to make a stop here on defense.
Ramona averaged over 215 rushing yards per game last year, led by Bo Bruins, of course. If they could just gain, as you mentioned, a few first downs, they don't need 215 yards rushing, just a few, they could basically ice the game right here.
And it's going to come down. Both teams have timeouts left here, 3 apiece. Best game we've had here in a while. Great opener.
Yeah. Flag is down. This most likely is Ramona's 10th of the game.
Lerma making the catch. Let's see.
These refs are going to need to ice their shoulders. I mean, this is a pretty long night for these guys. This is the 33rd penalty of the game, holding on Ramona. This would be a demoralizing conversion if the Rams figure out a way to move the chains from this spot. 2nd down and 15 to go.
Rams can't play to lose. They've got to play to win here. They've got to be aggressive.
And they'll do just that. Acosta from his end zone. Avoids a Mosqueda safety. Throws a jump ball into coverage. And it's incomplete, but Pitts might have been interfering Jake Valenzuela.
That is a PI for sure. And that changes the entire game right there.
Wait a minute. We might have a hold in the Rams backfield.
Offsetting penalties.
Blocking the back on Ramona and pass interference. So we've got either second or 3rd and 15. I don't know if they refresh it.
2nd and 15,
yeah,
so
second.
do over.
I don't know if I wasn't looking at every lineman, but I'm not sure Mosqueda was blocked in the back on that play. But the refs definitely have a better angle than I do.
Do they?
Well,
I don't think so. We've got the best
film
film crew ever.
Acosta from the end zone. They've been aggressive. They're going deep for Valenzuela again, and that was over the head of everybody. Khalil Granger on the coverage. This crowd's getting anxious right now, and I don't blame them. I mean, in so many moments, look like the better football team. It's incredible the resolve of Ramona.
Yeah, it might have been a little shove there from Valenzuela.
Third down and 15 here. Huskies bring the pressure. Acosta on the run. Gets by one defender. Make it 2, and Hill pulls him down. An excellent defensive.
And that's a first down.
No, it is a first down.
You're darn right it is. That is a big play.
Well, it's close.
Oh, they didn't give it to him.
One referee is behind, one is in front.
Let's see here how close he gets. Where?
I do think he got a favorable spot here.
I don't think he did. I think they took it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right there.
That hash is the first down. If they give him the proper spot, I think that should be a first down.
You know what I hear the sounds of? The chain gang. I hear the sounds of the men working on the chain gang. I love the chain gang.
The dancing chains.
Let's see.
Oh,
Here
that's
it is.
a first down. Oh, that is.
First down. What a play. He doesn't get that foot. It's a different game. North goes in and has a shot to win this.
Flashes of Ray Rice on 4th and 29. They had him stopped several times. Picked up the first down.
Wow, what a huge play.
That's incredible. We'll see if we can look at that again. We already saw it once. Acosta just
play of the game. If they can win this ball game, that did it right there.
Now, the Huskies still have a chance to seal it, to get the ball back. But Ramona, in an effort to seal the win, first third down conversion right here. Acosta gets by one missed tackle, shakes another right there. Hill made a good stop, but it was just too little too late. And that one gains a couple before the Huskies' Fernando Zavala stops the runner.
Both teams have the timeouts, 3 apiece.
Let's see. That appears to be Tyrone Roberts, number 44, who's had a terrific game at end for the Huskies, down with 3:13 to play.
The Friday night pep rally. Make sure you watch us tomorrow night. I tell everyone, watch Pep Fernandez's show. I'll be there I'll be like the Ed McMahon. You don't know who that is, but he was Johnny Carson's sidekick. But Pep and I will be on the air for the Friday night pep rally every Friday night, approximately 30 to 40 minutes after our game here on Riverside TV. We'll have all the local video highlights from scores on Thursday, Friday, and from across the Inland Empire. Pep Fernandez and the Friday night pep rally every Friday.
Well, Pep Fernandez talks about this game. There's a lot of storylines to talk about. Great tackle from Roberts right there. He might have gotten a leg caught on somebody's ankle there. Incredible game. First ever start for Jeremiah Acosta, and if he can seal the deal right here, he has to get the game ball. Maybe not the most spectacular performance of the night. He did have that critical fumble late in the half, but here in the clutch, he's been brilliant. Valenzuela, too, at receiver. Mendoza on the grab, gains 6.
Well, I am the vice president of the Hall of Fame. I can induct him if I want to.
Really?
I don't know if I can
now,
actually
one game
do that.
in, I'm not sure.
Hey, if he can get his first win as a Ramona Ram, I'm telling you, the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame might be calling his name tomorrow morning.
Oh. Now, you're going to need to run that by Pep Fernandez because I know
No, Pep is not on the board.
Oh, he's
Pep
not on
is
the
a
board.
minion.
Oh, okay.
He's a minion of mine.
Interesting.
He is our MC.
MC?
Yeah, he's the MC Hammer. MC Pep.
Tolbert drilled. Late flag down. If this is on the Huskies,
this could be it.
The Rams could all but seal it on a first down.
There's the call. Holding on offense.
Okay, but is he done? Or is there another penalty? No. Now, I'm...
Fourth down?
Okay. They decided to decline it, I'm sure. I think that'd be the better idea.
I don't think this is the play, right? They look very confused.
Would the vice president of Riverside accept this penalty?
Oh,
no.
Declined. Fourth down.
And why that is important is it stops the clock. You accept the penalty, and even if you stop them, you still have 40 more seconds off or a timeout. So I'd say it's a great decision. Ramona's not going to take any chances. And, Jeff, I got to say, I thought it'd be a great game. It's even better than I thought. We've got a chance for an instant late classic to begin the season.
North is going to get their final shot, their final haymaker here in this heavyweight battle.
And we'll tell you, we can assure you not every game's going to be this good, but there's a lot of great football this year. Game 1 has lived up to the billing. And here we go. JW North has 1 minute and 37 seconds and 3 timeouts. The Huskies offense with veteran Cameron Shannon, a chance to be the hero. He needs to go 67 yards in 1 minute and 37 seconds. This will absolutely make it to the pep rally if he can find a way to win. Cameron Shannon and the Huskies, it hasn't looked pretty. It's been an absolutely brutal day for the penalties, 24 in fact. But Shannon has a chance to be the hometown hero and the talk of Riverside. until tomorrow night.
Wow, look at you. You're full of hyperbole, my friend. I like it.
Well, you know, when you watch Barbie like me, you just get emotional. Just kidding. I never watched that. Branch makes the catch, and he's got the first down and evades a tackle. Now, I wonder what this is on. Might be a helmet-to-helmet hit.
That is a helmet-to-helmet. That's going to be 15 extra.
And it stops the clock. Check this out again. Branch, the same route where he nearly scored a touchdown earlier in the quarter. You know what's funny is I actually think Branch initiated that helmet hit.
I don't think it's helmet to helmet, but they gave it to him. Holy smokes. It's coming down to the wire here.
What a football game.
Huskies getting their final swings in.
In fact, you better be careful and not score too quickly. Early movement. That is a false start on the offense. It appeared Elijah Thorne jumped early.
Add that to the penalty total.
You could submit this into the, I don't know where you'd submit it, but this has got to be close to a record.
In the annals of penalties. I'll put it in the wing of the Hollywood or the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. 1st and 15. Shannon looking long. He'll take off and run. He's looking at that sideline. 30, 25, out of bounds at the 21. 1st and 15. Shannon for 16 with 50 seconds to go. You think head coach Opalani Vaipulu is sweating it out on the sideline?
No.
No,
he's got ice in his veins.
He's got that quarterback so cool and calm in the clutch. This drive started less than 30 seconds ago at their own 33-yard line, all the way to the 21 of Ramona. Shannon gets rid of it. It's nearly picked off. He underthrew the pass to Dylan Boucher and nearly paid the game-ending price.
And Royce Mendoza, who's had his hands, he has jumped the route 3 times tonight.
Same side of the field.
And he is 0 for 3 in catching those interceptions, but he was right there to break that up.
Crowd on its feet to root on the Huskies. It should be noted North and Ramona have all their timeouts. Coach Vaipulu looking on anxiously on the coolly on the sideline. He looks very calm. The head coach in his 3rd year, a chance to beat Ramona for the first time. Shannon on 2nd down, fires downfield. Branch at the 5. He saw the end zone, and the turf monster got up at the 2. And we've got a timeout on the field. North burns their first. This crowd is going nuts. 35-34, Branch again.
Yeah, the turf monster got him, but the Huskies on the cusp here.
And you know, you want to score if you can, but it would be ideal to use up a few more seconds. Right?
You would think, but hey, I think right now,
just get it in.
You want to get it in. There's been too many goofy calls and penalties.
I had a feeling it'd be a good game, but it's even better than I thought. Man, what a football game we've had tonight, in which North made it a game despite being up 20. And we can see Cameron Shannon really growing up before our eyes right now. The quarterback with a clutch 4th quarter drive, down by 1 against the best scoring defense in the River Valley League. The best defense overall in Ramona. And he's gone 65 yards in just 5 plays. He needs 2 more for the lead. It's 1st and goal. Shannon looks to his right, fires into the end zone. A toe-tapping grab in the end zone for Boucher. Touchdown, J.W. North with 32 seconds to go.
Wow, what a great play. And to roll out and make the pass for the touchdown instead of pushing it right up the middle. Great play from John W. North. We've talked about him all night. Cam Shannon is the guy, the He has been the ignite of this offense. And they're going to go for 2.
North putting up a 40-burger on opening night. Well, they look a little out of sorts. I'd almost call a timeout here. Shannon is late to get on the field.
You have 2. They're going to call it.
Timeout. So, 32 seconds left. This would be some response because the Rams most likely are going to get a shot here to score and tie or win the game. Now, Jeremiah Costa, pressure on him now after the Shannon touchdown. Let's check it out again. Dylan Boucher. He has been a bit quiet in the fourth quarter tonight, but delivers in the clutch. What a way to bounce back after Boucher dropped the touchdown earlier in the quarter on a 4th down throw from Shannon. He makes up for it with that play.
So big brother Bobby, the water boy, pretty happy for that way Mr. Boucher played tonight.
And a reminder tomorrow, Hillcrest visits Pauley. First game of his high school head coaching career, right? Jaron
Yes.
Gilbert.
Came over from Harupa Valley. He was the defensive coordinator for Coach Hugo over at Harupa, getting his first shot here at Riverside Poly.
Facing veteran Travis Carter in that excellent ball club in Hillcrest, runners-up in the River Valley League to Ramona last season. 2-pointer to put him up 7. Hit as he throws into traffic, and that a bit wide for Zavala. Did Boucher catch that? No.
Yes.
He did.
Yes, he did. 7-point ball game, 32 seconds to go here.
Okay. Didn't quite get a good angle on that, too. Let's see. Wow, what a throw.
Through
between three guys. Branch made the catch. It looked like it was intended for Zavala. Everything bouncing the way of the Huskies. 32 seconds left, 3 timeouts. Jeremiah Acosta and Ramona, one last chance. Guzman Velasquez, line drive towards the sideline, muffed, and Valenzuela scoops it up. An electric return man. Trots to his right, gets by all but one, and that's all they needed. Swarmed by Coral Flowers with 22 to go. Rams are going to need a miracle. 91 yards away from overtime. Make it 92 with 21 seconds left.
The question is, do these youngsters have what it takes to make a big play? They're going to need time to throw the football. See if North is going to pressure or play some prevent defense here.
I think anything other prevent would be a great idea in this situation. Acosta guns it, and that pass is dropped. Excellent game for Valenzuela, but he missed one there. .16 seconds left. Even if he caught it, I don't think that's the greatest idea when you need 92 yards. Acosta again. Steps up, and Acosta gets drilled, but finds Valenzuela, and he is tackled in bounds. No big deal. Timeout with 5 seconds. And this might be where they go to their biggest bag of tricks. Down by 7 late in the game.
Oh, Valenzuela's down. Remember, Valenzuela was hurt last season.
I believe a broken arm ended his season. Let's see how he got tackled here. Oh, man.
Hopefully he's okay.
Oh,
there.
his left leg got twisted. It's actually pretty amazing he's able to get up on that one. Certainly hope he's all right. But they're going to have to play this critical final snap without the services of Valenzuela. The Rams, Antonio Lerma takes his spot to join Royce Mendoza and Brandon Ruiz as the wide receivers. One of them On the final play, a chance to force overtime. Acosta's going to give it all he has. Deep ball downfield. That concludes a thrilling football game to begin the year. The city of Riverside fired up about here at JW North, their hometown Huskies. An incredible comeback for them after blowing the lead earlier. Our final score, 42-35.
Wow, what a great game from both teams. I should say better for North, they won, but North has to walk away from this thinking, wow, we escaped a tough Ramona team. I'll tell you what, North really almost gave this away, but comes out winners.
JW North, a tough season last year, going 4-7. They begin this year feeling confident, but commit 25 penalties for 234 yards in the opener. They still figure out a way to win, and I'd say Cameron Shannon has to earn the game ball for his excellence down the stretch.
Yeah, he played with poise, and the upside for that young man going from here on out is going to be great. Looking forward to watching North get a little better, not make mistakes, and make this a great year for the Huskies.
Make sure to join us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. kickoff, as Jaron Gilbert gets a chance to guide his Bears in their first game of the year at home against Hillcrest. For Jeff Gorham and the rest of our excellent crew, we'll see you tomorrow for that Hillcrest-Pauley game and the pep rally afterwards. Our final score tonight on day 1 of the season, North 42, Ramona 35. Good night.